same thing. And then Battle, I'm still offering for the tops. It never broke the prior high. Sorry, the prior day, prior day's high. That bounced almost cleanly off of it. I'm offering in front of 180. I'm offering in front of 190. I'm long at 173. So I'm not really trying to take profit till it gets to that 1-to-1.
All right, man, as we leave you, man, we are $5.50 in the money now, including SpaceX is just tanked. So we get that fill that we wanted to. We're now $3 in the money here, and we're $2.50 in the money on Intel. As Intel coming right into some more key levels. So guess what we do, man? We take it out on VWAP there for Intel. That's a $3 winner there. All on the posted notes. And there it goes. Wow. I mean, SpaceX now just drops below 124, and we get that fill as well. So this is just like, what a dream SpaceX has been there since its IPO, man. It's really been quite an account changer, that is for sure. Thank you for watching us. It's 11:01 right now. And as we always say, man, like, if we do not go over to Joe as fast as possible and let him go past 2 o'clock,
it's a problem.
It's a problem. We've actually had meetings about this.
Yes.
He likes going past 2 and he likes getting on before 11:01. So right now, Joe, I apologize, man. We're a little bit over time.
Give that man
so let's get going. Good day. We'll make some money here in the midday. Let's go back over to Joe and Sharif. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And thank you, everybody, for all of your continued support on the show, right? I mean, over 580,000 subscribers, everybody on TikTok, everybody eating these cookies. We want to say big shout out to all of you as well. I think, Randy, how many cookies today, Randy? Oh, Randy's watching YouTube videos, so don't worry about it. We'll talk to him later. All right, see you, everybody. We'll see you soon.
That's why he's got his desk like that, right? Like,
exactly.
think about it. Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That is your boy, Joey Options. I am Sharif, and we're having a chuckle at Randy's expense, but he can't hear us. He's not even noticing we're looking at him.
Man.
He is tapped in. He's looking at the new X-Peng that I sent him today.
He's,
the LO3, my boy.
He's on card.
You see the LO3, Katina, man? $35,000 starting price. Looks like a dang X4 with 500 kilometers of range. Katina wants 3 immediately. Shout out to Gorev. Shout out to Angry Wife. Bhavin frickin' Patel. Happy Friday. Right back at you. Arcane FF. We got B6 Flores. JC Trader. Trader X2V. Mr. Thumbs Up 2005. Shout out to my man Scott H. Isaac Frost. We got Oxlong 777 and RS Bob Muffin too. My man Other Zinc. 63 Wicks. Let's go. Smith 1997. Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I'm in a singing mood today. You guys better watch out, man. Put down the volume. Howard the Usher. We got OAF Geese, Extreme Sash, and Kirk D. Let's go. Shout out to the man, Andrew Chow. We got Sophie Morrigan, 311. Sorry, Soph, probably butchered your name. No teeth, please. Oh, I'm not going to say that last.
For some reason, he gets a shout out.
Yeah, he's cool, man. But yeah, his name's a little, it's a libelous name. Alan. We got Green Saber, Roger Noonan, Terrible Trades, Mr. Love Shack, Juan Padilla. We got Manny Oliveras. Shout out to Mark, 9760, dropping $2 in the super chat. Do you prefer metric or imperial for car stats? So I'm just going to say metric because we do everything metric when it comes to cars up here, right? Kilometers, what's it called? Liters per 100 kilometers, speed-wise, everything like that. But it's a mixed bag in Canada. Weight and height, imperial. We go feet, we go weight, we go pounds. But when it comes to speed, for some reason, we go metric, Joey. So we're a hybrid system. I've always said Canada is a bit of a hybrid. England/USA. You got a little this, you got a little that.
Look at the thermostat, right?
There you go, Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
Exactly.
I love that.
Well, mine's actually, mine in my condo, it's Fahrenheit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's mad. Yeah, I have to immediately.
You probably just need to switch it on the thermostat.
I'm trying to. Yeah, you probably could, man.
Settings.
But you know how it goes. You don't mess around with the thermostat.
You don't touch it, man.
No,
Make
but in
imperial grade again.
Yeah. If he has, Randy put a lockbox on the old thermostat.
On all
around.
three of them.
All three of them. And then now we don't know where the keys are, so we just
what keys?
Yeah, exactly. What keys? All right, guys, let's get right into some stock talk here and see what we have going on in today's session. Man, oh man, what a missed opportunity for the kid. But it is what it is.
Bless you,
right?
Ram.
It took us a couple attempts to get this one going here. Now, we went short on the Nasdaq with the intentions of getting this move back into the volume-weighted average price. Where we're sitting in the queues is just, honestly,
Yoso's dropping.
it's breaking down, right? Like you're through some key support levels. This rally was just, yeah, whatever. Let's trap a little bit more longs before we head a little bit lower, in my opinion, that is. So we take attempt number one, doesn't work out. We take a couple of cent loss. And then, boom, we get that nice flush lower. And then what needs to happen is, all right, yeah, let's absorb some more liquidity and wick some people out. So I get stopped out about 25% of my position right there. So what I do is like, all right, where is the additional turnaround point here? What am I looking for? So I posted up at 35s, but it never pulled back into my level after this print. So I posted up after the low of this candle, never got 35s after that point. So I'm like, gosh darn it, right? Yeah, is that too much?
No, it's not. But I like exaggerating. Even Neil was tripping.
Yeah. Was that aggressive? All right.
No,
sorry.
no, it wasn't.
My apology.
You don't have to apologize. We're just exaggerating.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I thought I kept it PG there at some point, right? Because we could definitely use some other terminology that we won't. But anyways, we get stopped out, and then I'm like, oh no, at this point, we're going to break through this support level that was established at the time. So I'm like, let's get in some more. But then it was just a bunch of tomfoolery going on right here. So we did cut half off right there and then just took the rest. And then sure enough, it's heading towards the volume-weighted average price right now. But as for Meta is, absolutely tank city, and it's been a tough look in some of these tech names. Watch out, guys. Before we send it back over to Sharif, what we will do is we'll give Bravely a little shout out, and then we'll take a look at the Nasdaq from a bigger time frame. The daily is what I'm referring to. All right. So who we have here? Bitcoin Trader TV. What's going on, everyone? Ed Traveler. We have Odin, Kira, T. Alexander, Grewal, Gumret. What's up, everybody? Apex, Dan Chat, Disosado, Dado, GM. What's up? Good morning. Ika, Creative, Peace. And Mr. Phil, all right, we like Mr. Phil.
Dr. Phil?
Yeah, Dr. Phil. Yeah. And who it is, Steve Gordon Wesley Francher, as the population and our viewer base is continuing to grow over there on TikTok. Now, before we send it over to Sharif, let's take a look at the Nasdaq in the bigger picture. I think it's important to note, guys, and look at it from a higher time frame. And here it is on the daily. Right? Like, I just think this was just a little bit too much. Up here at 670, I think would have been a reasonable break at the high. You come back and retest, and then you continue to go. But that wasn't the case, and that's not the world that we're living in. Instead, we decided to go parabolic for a couple of months, and then now we're starting to cool off. So once again, man, when you see all this fun being had in the market, don't be shy to take any profits, because at some point you're going to be pulling back pretty aggressively. I'm not saying that's the case in the Nasdaq, but if you pull over to the Marvels, the ARMs, and the Palantirs of the world, then you're down 50% if you decided to hold some. So nothing wrong with taking a little bit of profit off at the top.
Don't disagree with that at all, unless you want to hold it for the long term.
But even so, yeah.
Like, I mean, long term. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, so here's the deal. Up until last August, I had not been buying the market, not buying the S&P, not buying the Qs. That just hadn't been my mode. Since then, that's all I've been doing. Any new money just goes into the market.
Yeah.
So then sometimes you're in the money on that, but like, I'd never think about selling that. That's retirement money. That's like house money. That's down payment money.
I don't think I agree with you. I don't think you manage the overall index like you would individual stocks.
I completely agree. Like, it's like it's different because it's just so.
Yeah, exactly.
S dot is moving up apparently according to Bubin. All right, I got a couple of positions here that I want to talk about. First and foremost, we just got into KLRS. This one is pretty much close to the day's high, 15 pennies, 10 pennies or thereabouts. It feels like there's a big seller at 550, Bovin and everybody else. 555 is the high, which is okay. What I'm worried about seeing here is around a top pattern rather than a flat top break, right? Look at the top chart. So the top chart for the newer viewers, that's always the 1 minute. The bottom chart is the 5, right? You can see this clearer, I should say, on the 1. And there is a lot of 1 minute candles that reject right off that 550 level. In fact, I don't think we've had one closing print on the 5 minute chart above 550. So I'm starting to think, possible flat top break. And we've got the ascending wedge pattern, higher lows, et cetera, et cetera. Now I don't mind DCAing into this. What did I get? I got 47s. I don't mind holding into the 20 penny area. If it loses VWAP, I'm out, okay? But I'd rather not DCA here. And the reason I say that in this specific instance, as opposed to others, is because I'm worried about the rounded top pattern rather than a flat top break. So if we start getting that rounded top, then, you know, to me, it's just it's destined to fail VWAP at some point. Whether or not it does it in a straight line, you know, it's a little bit different there. So anyway, we got 47s, showing 44, interested in adding more. Another position, there goes FLSY. Obviously not strictly a small cap gapper, but you know, it's got a nice little chart pattern, so I've moseyed on in. I've got
What's up, Andre?
What's going on, Andre? I got 2111s, and we just went the beak there at the $0.25. Now, what I'm in this for is a very, very simple reason.
A retracement. I can use a different date. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Just mute your mic when you talk to him, because actually, he probably won't be able to hear you. My bad. So I'm looking here for a VWAP hold. That's why I got into FSLY. 21.93, essentially $22 high, and it's kind of making its way down into 21, which happens to be VWAP. So I'm looking for a VWAP hold here. It doesn't manifest, I'm out. It's really that simple. All right, KLRS1 knocking on the door of the $0.50. So I'm going to throw in a liquidity tester. I'm going to put it at 1 penny above the $0.50, just to try to see what kind of aggressive profit taking and or short selling is at the $0.50. So let's see if I can get filled, or am I going to be met with a wall of sell orders that prevent it from ascending? I often do this around key areas of technical support and resistance, put liquidity testers to see what kind of animal is hiding behind there. I'm kidding, of course, right? So we're keeping an eye here on KLRS1, but we've got more to talk about on the 8 trusty side charts here. As you Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking immediately when this one came on. But I'm like, they're such an old group, like people may not know who they are. How do you not know what
dang?
Step into a world. Oh my days.
The only song I know is from Get Rich or Die Trying.
You know that one, Katina Man? Katina Man's vibing to that one, man. Exactly. All right, so KLRS1 top of the screen, Joey. We got TRVI, middle left of your screen, SLS, middle right, IOVA on the top right. On the bottom, we have EOSE. A lot of these are former convicts that we know before. And then you have 2 non-small cap gappers. We have the sell, which I did get stopped out of through the break of 20 yesterday or the day, whatever, I don't know. FSLY, the one I'm involved in, of course, and then GLXG, which currently is bleeding its own blood. Zigging and zagging here, an unbroken downtrend after that topping tail candle at 10.55. So, you know, the pickings have been slim all week, and they're equally as slim today. Ooh. That's the nature of trading. You know, you go through these cyclical periods where there's a lot of strength in small caps, and then there's crap. So there goes KLRS through 550. So we get that quick liquidity tester. But look at the spread rocket. Oh my days, the spread opened up to 14, now tightening up to 5. So the bid moving up, and there it goes, Mr. Options, into a high a day. Let's set something up at the 2/3 of a dollar. See if we can get something there. 2 New York cents. I'm number 1. Sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, 2 New York. He knows. Aren't they from New York City? I'm pretty sure KRS1. The video, anyway, looked like they were from New York. And there goes KLRS through the high of the day again. We get the beak wetter at 63, but there's no continuity. Look at it drop right below the $0.50 again, up 20%. Ozan, yesterday I think I broke Sean's heart. Why? What did you do? What did he do, Katina Man? He did.
Yo, are you tapped into Unity, my guy?
Don't worry about him. Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not.
I'm worried about it.
Yeah.
I'm worried about it.
Yeah, I'd be worried too if I disappointed SSC, man.
All right, guys, let's do this. VinFast continues to expand beyond vehicle sales. This week, VinFast India partnered with Shriram Finance to support EV financing access. While Green SM launched all-electric ride-hailing in Kazakhstan with VinFast VF6 vehicles. Together, these moves highlight the VinFast broader mobility ecosystem. You can find them on the Nasdaq under ticker VFS. There it goes. Yeah, you got a couple of moves going on there, guys. I tell you, we take one loss here today, and then we're fortunate enough to put on a couple of W's after that. So we're just going to be looking for that next trade. But with that being said, it is Friday, and I'm not going to call it a free fall Friday just yet. We did have a nice little recovery. As soon as I seen this in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm just scrolling through my phone looking for a specific catalyst that would justify this sell-off here in NVDA. It doesn't necessarily be find anything really. But look at this. There's no coincidence, right? Like, that's why you see Sean picking out his support and resistance levels. Here it is. So rejects that 206 level to a T. What does that correlate with? That's yesterday's lows, all right? So you just see it holding that level, comes right into that marker, wicks it, and then just comes straight down. So that was a nice little play there. And if you get into the nitty-gritty, i.e. the details, look at this print right here, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good short signal, Gorp. Hopefully you had success on that one, my friend, because that has been a nice move back towards the volume-weighted average price. One thing here it is, that we'll do the segment a little bit earlier. What grinds my gears is that wait, is it too early?
This guy, bro, he's got a lot of grievances to straighten out.
Yeah. I wish that, but too bad no one's listening, man. It's all
everybody's listening. That's the thing.
No, I'm obviously being sarcastic, guys, but no, it's just like these moves in these hefty pullbacks.
Nobody's birthday.
Yeah, it's nobody's birthday. That was crazy.
Until you guys hear the story from this morning.
Yeah, this is crazy. So apparently on NVDA, it's nobody's birthday today, so it's just like straight to the downside. But these pullbacks is what can get you going, that's for sure. And I'm going to pull over the Nasdaq, and that's what I was talking about not too long ago, ladies and gents, was just the fact that we have the right thesis. It's just that this initial pullback, then it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. Boom, AC Slater. And if you don't hammer it again at the break of this high, then you might run into a little bit of trouble. And we tried to. We were posted up at that level, but we just weren't fortunate enough to get any form of a deep pullback. But then eventually it did, but just not into the marker that we are looking for. So, yeah, I mean, hey, it's definitely a little bit of a tougher look if we pull over and head over to our watch list. Meta's just been getting absolutely destroyed here, down 5%. This is what I was doing last night. So, yeah, so much for this. Hopefully the level pulls up, right? But I thought we'd get a little bit more of a test, but clear resistance zone on this one. So there's a couple of lines that we could probably remove at this point. It's been a choppy mess over here. But other than that, man, small potatoes, stick with it. Nothing, brother. I mean, small potatoes. Listen, I like this. And I talked about being patient on some of these memory names for quite some time. Now they're 40% plus off of the highs. So maybe you start to dabble a little bit in it if that's something that you're looking to get involved with. Sharif.
There goes KLRS into $0.75. And while you think about that, let me tell you about this. Quick reminder. Trader TV Live members get Sharif's mine daily morning research note every single trading day that I am here. We're talking about the big market stories. What's moving in the market? The key levels to those stories. How about the trade plans, the catalysts, and what we're actually watching into the open? It is only $4.99 a month. What was the math, Katina, man? 20 pennies a day? 22 cents a day. And you also get members-only videos, posts, custom emojis, and loyalty badges. Hit the join below this video to become a member. Shout out to everybody who's already joined, and shout out to KC520-6, man. She's always gifting these memberships. So if you are not in the chat, you can't get gifted, and you can't take trades like that. There goes KLRS into $6. Joseph frickin' options. Katina, man, I love this guy, bro. There it goes, Katina, man, through the area high, through $6. Let's wet the beak there. There's the area high. We're looking for more, though, Katina, man. We're looking for 6.25 now. So let's go ahead. We're going to wait a little bit in the teens, Joseph options, because we're still dancing here with the $6 level. We're doing the said dance with no underwear or pants at the $6 level.
I haven't heard that one for a while.
I know, right? We got to throw that in from time to time, my guy. Right, so looking at the 5-second chart now on KLRS, trying to look for areas of resistance that we can't shake. It is a 610 high at the moment. Here comes 610 again. We just flashed 10s on the ask with no continuity, but we are holding above 6, and here it comes again into a new area high, and we're taking prints there. Boom, into 620 goes KLRS. Very pleased with this trade. Looking for a move back now into $6. Let's see what we get. we won't get upset.
You're not gonna get
Bovin
it?
called it, says KC 526. I know for a fact she has not been a member for 12 months. She's been a member for way longer than 12 months. I don't know why it says that, member for 12 months, but yeah. I've been seeing Casey in the chat for years.
For a hotter minute then.
What trading platform am I using, Dark? This is a proprietary trading platform, brother. It belongs to the firm that we work for. It's called P8. The firm that we work for is called Real Trading. They basically operate everywhere other than the United States, all over the world, right? So that's what we're looking for right now. Thank you for the question. You wanna cover that one?
Absolutely.
That's your world.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about that one here. There's a whole heap of
Casey
tickers
just
on
dropped
there.
20 members.
Yeah, of course she did,
Of
man.
course she did.
What
Casey,
else do you expect from this individual? High performance. Casey, did you play any college sports or anything?
I feel like she's a D1 athlete.
I do, because she's
like
high
a retired
performance.
D1
Yeah.
athlete.
That's what I'm really curious.
Get it, Case.
Because that's what trading is, man. It's a high performance sport. Don't get it twisted. Now let us know, Casey, if you played any sports in university or anything. I'm sure Sharif will see that. Short SMCZ, no idea what that ticker is. MSTZ seems like a MicroStrategy, MUZ, SSPC. So a lot of inverse ETFs here going on. SQs, SOXX, BTS, PLT. Brother, how much are you short over here? Like bid I long rotation with Walmart, DUK. How far down will tech go after Kospi opens on Monday? Oh my God! Like, are we already that forward thinking of what's going on with the Kospi there, Sharif? Let's pull it up. Shall we do it right now? Yeah, we'll do it live. There's nothing else other than taking a look at some of these other the South Korean market. And this is what we were talking about yesterday, that this has just become significantly more than just an American ADR thing now. It's just like it's evolved into something that you personally don't want. You notice all the stocks that nobody talk about, and the good ones, I believe, are just like, hey, they're just appreciating living in their own world. But this is when you fall into these where everybody's and their mother's brother is covering it at some point. Here's SK Hynix. Now you're officially 37% off of the all-time highs. I talked about as soon as this falls 50%, there's a reason why I was going to say North Korea, South Korea isn't issuing any more leveraged products, because if you've been buying in off the highs and you're down 50%, it's officially you've lost every single penny of your investment. So if you want to talk about that, ask me about Aurora Cannabis, down 99.99% in my account. It officially can't go any lower after multiple.
I don't know what to say to this guy. What do you say to this guy?
What do you mean? What is there to say? That's what happens, dude.
I know, brother.
That's what happens. Like, yeah, it went up in flames. So put that in your pipe and smoke it there, Sharif. Like, this is like, man, when everything's, listen.
Yeah.
You know what I also
You're gonna get lit up now. I can feel it.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
I'm about to go on Joe's rant. No, I don't know if you've been feeling this way over the past little while, but these leverage products are popping up like bad weeds in a horrible
100%
garden.
agree.
They're like getting slightly carried away
agree.
with. And think about what we've experienced over the past little bit with mass liquidations via Bitcoin. I bet you the headlines in South Korea are just absolutely littered with it. Show him what's going on with Tilray.
The Katina man is down 97.47% on his Tilray position.
There's nowhere
I don't know why
to
even want to celebrate that, but like it's. But
a lot of people have been through that before.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, some of the financial headlines in South Korea are just people getting absolutely destroyed via all these leveraged products.
Yeah. No, Joey.
You know what I mean?
Think like it becomes like a generational thing where you get clipped. Like everybody who got clipped in the GFC, they had, post-traumatic stress disorder for like a decade subsequent, right? Like the people who got clipped in the dot-com bubble, some of them never re-entered the market either.
It's like,
right?
why would I do that if and I think it's such a big lesson for us to learn as a group, and that's why I was talking about for quite some time. Over the past couple of months, I'm like, there's zero chance that I'm chasing DRAM, SanDisk, Micron, all of these names, because I've seen it before. Like, it's all fun and games when we're moving up, but then after, when it's not so much fun and somebody gets hurt, everybody's scratching their head like, what even happened over there? Are we on this angle over here? I thought we were on this one. Assassino.
Don't worry, bro.
No, we're not.
Assassino, he does.
Everyone's like, what's going on? Like, I thought stonks only go up. Well, no, that's not the case. The smart money takes theirs out, and then everybody's left scratching their head at the end of the day, looking at their accounts like, What the helly?
What the helly? All right, we're building a position, Joseph Op. I love that. Man, that meme, bro. Live rent free in my head. We're building a position here on SG, okay? This one isn't the greatest, but we're trying our hand at something here. So SG, shout out to Bovin. Thank you for pointing this one out. He also pointed out the dot. The dot is also very much similar to this pattern, SDLT. So SG, bull flag kind of pattern here. I do like the higher lows, area low into 705, area low into 713. So, you know, whether I get the breakout now or I have to build into the position, we'll all find out. So what I'm looking to do here is, the latter as opposed to the former. I'm looking at building a position. I'm looking for 7.25 with my out below prior area low. That takes it down to about 713, give or take. Ideally, we don't get all the way down there because then that would put me out of the money by a little bit. So I'm going to build a position here on SG, watching intently as well as to see whether KLRS can do one of two things here. One, does it come back down and test that 550? It's ripping into 6. Or does it take out 6 again and hold above 6? I was thinking maybe 560, 550. Dip trade on KLRS. I'm exhausted my shares on this one, so I need a little bit more. Here it comes though, so we're pretty close to freaking day high right now. 625 on the table. We're showing 11s. Let me spot the areas of support and resistance. I got to flip to the 5 second to get a better look, and down goes Frazier again below $6. So 610, a pretty convicted seller, Mr. Options, at 610. We saw him rear his ugly head at 11.18.25 and 11.18.20, and then he reared it again not long ago, 11.26. He showed up again, despite the fact that we did pop into 25. A repeat offense area here is 610, 611. So yeah, I don't know how this cookie crumbles, but I'm not jumping in quite yet on KLRS, but it's definitely on my watch. Now I'm watching here as well as forgot to mention, sorry. I have to mention this. Got stopped out manually here of FSLY. It's below VWAP, man, and I don't want to have to be, expending mental energy on a trade that's basically doing nothing. So I just cut my losses and got the hell out of there. Let's focus on what's actually moving. And we move up to 610 again, Joseph.
Yeah.
And again, we're met with a wall of sellers. And now we're a penny or two below the prior area rejection. And we often talk about that. That area rejection, the way you're able to tell whether the algos are stair-stepping down is that, you'll see it reject at 611. And then next time around, when it gets back into that price, it'll reject 609, 610. So they stair-step down the sell order. It's not a person doing that. Typically, it's an algorithm who's positioning against you, right? So be on the lookout for that. I think a decisive move here above 610, especially with these higher lows that we're currently putting in, puts us, in position to take out that 6.25. And here we are again. Are we breaking out? We got some selling right into that. There we go. Let's see if we can take it out here. What do you got, Joseph?
Good stuff. I want to talk. I don't got anything right now. I'm looking at a potential long here on the Nasdaq, but I don't know if that one's going to pan out how we want. We want to post up as close to the volume weighted average price as we possibly can. Casey, what sport did you play? In the meantime, while I wait for that response, I actually want to talk a little bit about Tesla. And guys, I want to mention something in the chat as well, too. Do me a favor and don't make fun of other people and their picks or pick on them because they're up or they're down, because it's the market. And if you're around here thinking that you don't lose, then I don't really have any other choice of words from you, but you guys, it's all about bringing each other, uplifting each other, and making each other feel good. You don't need to bully other people and stuff like that. Yeah, here's Tesla. Speaking of bullying, this is what this is what's going on here in Tesla. Like, you can get prices from half a decade ago, and that's kind of what I'm worried about here for SpaceX. And I know that may not necessarily be the case, but like, data centers, I think are significantly closer than mining any form of asteroids. I love the optimism and just kind of the forward thinking of Elon Musk, right? That's just the nature of how he is. But think about it. You're actually back. If you want to get really stingy, Sharif, levels of 2021, November of 2021. So you're only a couple of months away from hitting that zone, right? And other than that, it hasn't been the greatest investment. I mean, there's good swing trades within all of this and everything along those lines, but half a decade ago, that's not the best look. And that's what my fears are in SpaceX. And the individual, I don't know if I told you guys this morning. I don't think I did.
What did you say, Joey?
I had an order at 125 on SpaceX.
Okay.
I actually removed it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna probably not even put any other good till cancel order out until I feel like the stock is based. And if it has, then I think it's going to display itself on multiple high-quality entries. But this is just another forward-looking stock, in my opinion. I can't wait to see the earnings report on it. I think it's going to be really interesting where we're going to be heading here in the near future within this name. But, yeah, I removed that 125, and I don't feel any type of way. Let's send it off to Juan and Adara.
It's 11:30 a.m., which means that the European session has closed. But as we await now here with 4.5 hours to go of the U.S. session, it's time to take a look into what happened in Europe. Here to explain that is Juan.
Thank you, Adara. So European market, mentioned this earlier, the tech liquidation cascading from Asia, pulling benchmarks in Europe all the way down to mid-July lows. So if we take a look at some of the indexes, stocks Euro 600, down by 0.62%. A lot of global AI scaling doubts triggering that broad-based index de-risking. Even the Euro Stoxx 50 also down by 0.73%. And if we take a look in Germany, their third mentions the US-Iran war, of course, elevated oil prices from US-Iran attacks, basically sustaining inflation fears in Germany. We expect to see the ECB holding rates steady next week, but preparing for a potential September rate cut. Some of the key decliners in Germany included Infineon. They were down by nearly 5%. Siemens Energy were down by 2.6%, or around 3%. There's also a lot of pressure on the banking sector. Deutsche Bank and Commerzbank down by about 1.5%. Now, if we move over to France, the CAC 40 also down by 0.67%. Some of the major decliners there, ST Microelectronics down by 7%, the biggest decliner in Europe. We've got Schneider Electric also down, and also Airbus down. One interesting to note was luxury brands like Louis Vuitton and Hermes, they also dropped based on Burberry's weak Q2 results. Now, that was in the UK. So Burberry, they led decliners in the UK, falling by about 5% on lower than expected Q2 earnings. They're blaming that of tourist spending being impacted by that of the Middle East conflict. And interesting to note, politically, Andy Burnham has been confirmed as Labour leader and will become the Prime Minister in the UK by July 20th. But overall, the markets, it's all about tech portfolios. That's the main theme, a great aggressive global reset, overnight session, of course, and also Netflix earnings bringing everything down. So institutional desks, they're locking in their profits. And in Europe, the broader tech sector down by more than 2.3%. That was the main story over Europe. But let's see. Hopefully it'll get better next week.
Yeah, just like in the U.S., Euro is reacting to tech and earnings. Who knew? We're going to send you back over to Joe and Sharif for now, but you'll see Juan and I again at this desk in about 4 hours to talk about the Asian markets.
Thank you very much for that, guys. Great information from Juan. All right. We did it live on the breakout on KLRS. I got back into Defend 6. I don't know how this cookie is going to crumble, Mr. Options, because right now it's below 6 and it's turning into an inverse hammer candle pseudo topping tail. So we're like a couple of pennies out of the money. Now we're break even. Now we're in the money. But I don't know. It's not immediately apparent whether 6 is going to be a decisively cleared level for KLRS. We've been topping tail multiple times through this level, and we break through. That's the thing. But the short seller comes back in. And that's been, that's been really the characteristic of this one. Moves above 6 to breach prior area high, but nothing sustained and nothing holds above said $6. Now, we're doing it live on our other trade over here. Go SG, slower mover. We're nicely like 12, 13 pennies in the money on this one. Let's wet the beak here, and then we're going to cancel that, and we're going to move it on up. into area highs. So looking for the move on that. And there goes KLRS. We get 15s. There's no continuity. Looking for 25s next. And then 35. Every single time it pops up, it's being met with aggressive selling. And there's 25. It didn't cross, so we didn't get the print. We're waiting at 25s again, and then 35. Look at the quarter dollar being defended aggressively by the short sellers and or profit takers. So 625 is the high, and that's where I'm sitting. That's always a risk, right? Sometimes you want to take it a penny or two below the high of the day because the shorts and profit takers are wise to that. They're looking to defend the level as well. So we're showing the teams right now. I don't want to take anything out here. I'd rather this one either stop me out or, you know, breach prior day high, which is 625. Looking for that big orange tape, orange color to come in on the tape, telling me that people are punching into this quite aggressively. Not seeing it, though, quite yet. Dropping back down into 6. There it goes. Fluffy. Fluffy says Koru, K-O-R-U. Okay, so I have to mention a couple over here because did I take out the other one that I want to move out? I'm going to take off FSLY. I'm going to put in SLND because Amir pointed SLND out for me, and I like that one. And I'm going to look at KORU for the Fluffsters. Good call, Fluffy. Yeah, no, this is good. It's only up 1.5%, but it's got a good-looking chart pattern that we can work with here. Let's see, what are we looking at, Fluffsters? We're looking at an 1870 closing print. We're looking at a lot of 19 resistance here for whatever reason. Bull flag pattern, the low of which, let's just say the range is at around 18. The high is around 19. So I'd work with that until it breaks out. Look at KLRS, right back below 6, and then right back above 6, guys. We haven't cleared $6. This is going to be a thick trade. I don't know how this cookie crumbles here, whether or not we get that 6 clearing. It's putting in a bull flag pattern, and there does seem to be buyers below 6 vis-a-vis these wicks, below $6 on the 5-minute chart, but it's light in terms of continuity, so I'm not really sure how to... It was you? GCA Star Awesome? Oh, man, I knew it was you, bro. You're always trying to hold back my trades. I kid, of course. We got to pause for a second. We're sending you up to see you.
Yeah, USO just had a little bit of an uptick, not anything crazy, just a little bit. Market dropped a little bit to this. So I'm just going to read out. This is a comment coming in from Iran's IRNA, that's a news agency, and a deputy governor from one of the provinces saying that oil tanker empty and docked at Kyrgyz Island was hit again by U.S. missiles. This is coming from Iran's IRNA saying that oil tanker empty and docked at Kyrgyz Island was hit yet again by U.S. missiles. There's a little bit of an uptick on USO, nothing major, just something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, that is going to be an issue. The on again, off again belligerencies. In the Strait. President Trump, I think, made statements last week about, how he could take Kyrgyz Island, and there's nothing the Iranians can do about it. I think those were his words. So
I have a super hot take, man.
Let's hear it, brother.
No. I'll tell you off screen. That's
no, we want it here. We want the controversy, my guy.
Of course we do, man.
I like it. I like to,
You know what I could do?
Push the boundaries.
You know what I could write it.
Nature.
I could write it down.
You can write it down.
I could show
then people can't hear it.
That's maybe people aren't meant to hear everything there, Sharif.
Oh, that is a
tell us,
statement.
Joey. Now I'm gonna leave you guys in suspense. Speaking of suspense, let's head over to our watch list and see how some of these consumer staples are doing here today. Not very suspenseful, is that? Now Walmart. We talked about we talked about a potential bottom on this one here around 107. So it's been a nice little rebound here for Walmart off of the lows. That's why I'm going to be rolling this pick, to be honest with you. I like Walmart where it is right now, and then also JPM. That's a name that topped into all-time highs earlier in the week. I believe this was Wednesday's session where you run into 352. We're going to continue to roll with the banks here. And then Taiwan Semi being another one of my picks, a stock that I don't believe deserved to be down around 20% off of the high. Now, for those who are
Was that part of your new picks, Joe?
Absolutely.
Oh, man, this guy's making...
And you know who else is a part of my new picks there?
Ooh, Joey.
Applied Materials.
AMAT?
Yeah, Applied Materials, my guy.
Yo, I was running it by Claude, and Claude told me to punch into AMAT.
Did it actually?
Yeah, I swear to you. It's telling me to punch into the memory names and AMAT. I'm like,
No, I'm going where the hyperscalers are spending their money, all those little widgets and all of those things over here. So I like Applied Materials all the way down here, down 31% off of its high. We're going to rock and roll with that. So you guys seen our picks over there, and we're confident on it right now. We can pull up the other ones. I know Sean and Neil were going over it bright and early, but we'll go over it one more time as your boy, Joey O, sitting in that second slot right there. Slot 2. What do they say in F1? P2.
Is that what they call it?
I think so.
Pole position, because the first one's pole
P2,
position.
P2 right there for your
all about that life.
Yeah, I was hoping I would get a confirmation from behind there.
What are they called? Not pole position, so not the first spot. What's the second spot?
P2, right?
What do you mean?
In F1.
In F1, like second pole. Yeah, it's P2.
Yeah, P2, man.
Like
there we go.
P2, P3. That's
it's like a garage.
Yeah, P2. Yeah. Are you on P1 or P2?
I'm on P2.
I'm on P1.
Watch
out, P1.
sorry. P1.
Yeah. You're on P. You're on P1. You got P2.
I'm on in my condo.
Yeah. P2. All right, man. Good stuff over there. But your boy over here, P2. You got the exactly that high quality. You got the premium parking spot. Yeah,
I got the guy with the Vantage.
How close are you to the elevator is the real question.
Pretty close. There's 3 though, because there's a low-rise condo. Right?
Yeah.
6, 7 floors.
All right. Really 6, 7. Over there. So Joe, we're doing over there. We're doing all right over there, and then we'll take a look at that. Moving. But I think we can grab the throne off the Obi here momentarily with the picks that we got going on earlier in the year, and then we'll continue to rock and roll. Don't forget your boy came from dead last, podiumed. To that, but yeah, we hit the podium on P3 over there, so having a lot of fun with that one. I don't have a specific trade on right now, maybe a potential short on the market.
Ooh, okay, sounds appetizing. We're still holding KLRS and SG. I am running out of patience with SG. It failed the $0.50. I don't want to see it lose the 10 EMA, so we'll see how that cookie crumbles. But there's others that are moving now, that are making moves. SLND is looking pretty good. Shout out to Purple Drank for calling, actually, that's not even Purple Drank's call out. I think that was Amir's. Let me just look quickly at KLRS because I'm going to get stopped out here. Yeah, and I just got stopped out through the break of 588. So this one could be losing trend. Still very positive on it, so very happy with that. But this one, SLND, is going here, Amir. Good call out, my friend. We're going to put this one up on the side chart. Oh, SLND, Sharif. SLND, there we go. Up 65%. What's going on with my scanner today? Why are these ones not showing up? How is this one not showing up, dude? Am I filtering in the wrong way, or what's going on? Like, I'm missing so many on my scanner today. Oh, I'm just looking to see if I have it here. I don't even think it's there. Huh? Yeah. What the hell is even that? Oh, it's on the bottom. Oh, because it gapped up initially at 9:30, and it's not up big since the open, so that's a problem. So I filtered my my scanner there to see, or to put the highest names, or the best performing names since the open. And so this one is kind of flat since the open. That's why it's not showing up. But hey, man, it's working into that 115 area high. Here it is with that pre-market high at 905 at around 117, 118. So build your position carefully on this one. But KLRS, good stop out for me. We'll end up losing a little bit on that, but we'll be positive on the name as it comes back down here. I don't know what your move here is, Bovin. Is it? This is not halted, is it? Why is it stopped moving like that? 584 now. No, it's not halted at all. It's just, you know, there was an equilibrium between buyers and sellers there. Let's see if it moseys back above 6. I mean, I don't have anything on this one now. Let's pull up SLND.
Can I mention Google here real quick? So we had an ascending wedge here. It's a flat top break. So now Google's breaking through resistance zones, going to the top side. So a nice little recovery. I don't know how you feel about this, Sharif. But like selling off 5% on the delay of Gemini, I think that might have been overdone.
All right, sorry. I just have to cover this super chat. Thank you very much, Traveling Trader, for 10 Canadian. Sorry about that, brother. I missed it. So here's what he wrote. Today's data by KLRS is potentially best in class. They had last raised at $10. Can it be inferred that the next capital raise would come above $10? Analyst targets are north of 15. Thought, Sharif. Great question. I like how you're putting that there. I mean, I don't think anybody's ever asked me that before. You know, the capital raising sort of time structure of these small cap gappers, it's like they're almost destined to raise. Yeah, I would definitely be looking at some analyst targets, and then I'd be looking for them to raise a little bit below that should, you know, those analyst target act as resistance. I was watching a really interesting video about some institutional traders, right? Some guys, they didn't really say, they were like covering their face and stuff. My suspicion is they're from Jane Street. That's just my suspicion. I have no idea, okay? But their philosophy was technicals are important, but they're not everything. A lot of the decisions that these institutional traders are making are based on fundamentals. And then they refine their entries, et cetera, with technicals. So with that in mind, then analyst price targets become awfully important, especially for issues like this when you're talking about raising. So I like the way you're thinking with that. I think, you know, probably a little bit lower than 15, especially if it has a few more good gays. Usually they take advantage of that. Great question by Traveling Trader, and the fact that he's Canadian. He gets one more. All right, we got XKR2 dropping $4.99 in the chat. What, according to you, are some key support and resistance levels for the triple Qs? I don't see anything obvious lately. Do you want to cover that one?
Yeah, I would gladly. And, you know, I honestly don't want to discredit your super chat. Thank you very much. I kind of see what you're getting at, but we were talking about it briefly this morning. Now, there was a support level right here. The more touches, right, the stronger the system can be. And that's what we're looking for. And I know maybe a rule of thumb sitting around three touches, but there it is. Like, we have a wedge that was being formed, and then at some point it's going to break, right? And then we just have that strong gap down. So I think Neil and I can agree. It's like we don't love shelves being formed. And I think that's what we had going on right here, this shelf in the Nasdaq without any steady form of a pullback where you can make that additional leg higher, right? Or even test it. So what we have right now is, I mean, is this a horrible thing to come back and retest this previous consolidation zone? I don't think so, but it would be disastrous for a lot of people if we did come back down 15%. But we will get a pullback. Now, is it going to come all the way down to here? I'm not too sure of that. All right, so maybe look around 10+%. I think that's completely reasonable, all right? So from 740, from this previous high, what are we currently sitting down right now? Around 7%. That's not horrible whatsoever. Look for a little bit more downside, guys. Now, I think we're in a stage within the market where any form of negative news will help with that selling, but then things will turn around, and congratulations, we're heading into earnings season, and if the numbers are great and fantastic, I read an article yesterday that we're looking at potential Google Cloud coming in at 70% growth. Like, what is even going on here? It's been double digits for the past couple of quarters, and maybe
70%? I think we've been in the 30s, haven't we?
Dude, I'm telling you. So I forget. Is
that why they're renting from XAI?
I have no idea, man. But it was, I forget who wrote it, but it was off of our news blotter. And it's like, yeah, predictions for Google to absolutely just blow everything out of the water with 70% growth. Now, I'm not going to take everything that they say literal, because it could just be somebody looking extremely bullish on the scenario. But I'm like, hey, that's insane. And then that's why it made me actually make it one of my picks.
Interesting piece from CNBC on their website. They did a little hit piece on XAI and the Memphis data center buildout. I don't think they interviewed anybody in that piece with anything positive to say about that. It was just like everybody. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not attacking their points. Their points probably have merit, and they are probably factual in some sense. But usually you give both sides of the story, and then you let the viewer decide, you know, where to fall. That wasn't what they did at all there, but
it's just completely lopsided bias.
I stopped watching 3/4 of the way through because there was just nothing positive being said about it. So it's like I was like, I already know all these arguments.
Do you think anything? Do you think the majority of it had to do with just Elon himself, or?
It's hard to tell if it was just like an Elon focus.
Like, give me one of the points that they
everything. The gas turbines he's using, he didn't have permits for them. They didn't have they have to put this thing on the top that filters it to clean. They hate the noise. The people that were living in and around the area, they had homes that were quiet. Now they're not, right? And then there's an entire like kind of group of Memphis that is annoyed with the pollution. They're annoyed with the power, right? With issues with that, like all that is these are fair points. You can't like these people feelings matter, right?
Yeah,
these are their
valid.
homes, right? But the fact of the matter is, like, let's talk about the other side as well. There was nothing positive being said.
Yeah, but how many jobs did he create?
They don't really create a lot of permanent jobs, brother.
Yeah, they don't.
They do.
But there's
for
still there are a
but-
couple year projects though, which is good, right?
No, but like there's not a lot of people working in them. People build them, sure, they're temporary.
Yeah, but that's
and
what I'm getting. But like a couple years to build the project, right?
No, man, you know what they were saying about Elon? They were like 230 days from breaking ground to training models.
No
it was insane.
Way,
yeah. Anyway, you can go watch it for yourself, make up your own opinion, and But KLRS dumped, big time drop. It popped through 620, and in the same 5-minute candle, it has a 537 low. So almost $1 a range on that one candle there at 11:45. I see LCID, Zen Zombie. I promise you, I loaded it up right here. See, I had it ready. I didn't have to type it in. But I was worried about this double top coming into 7 on Lucid. Now, Lucid continues to recover and recover well from the sell-off earlier in the week on rumors that they could be taken private and or go bankrupt. They pushed vehemently back on those reports. And quite frankly, when we did a little bit of an analysis about their cash on hand position, it didn't really jive with the story. They have about 4.3 to 4.5 billion in cash. So it doesn't make sense that they would be looking for Chapter 11 bankruptcy quite yet. However, let's let the story play out and we'll find out more later. But anyway, they're looking pretty good here. I'm seeing resistance at 7. It's a 7-11 high, but I'm fearing a bit of a double top, but we'll keep tabs on that, Joe.
Oh, okay, yeah, Gorev. Listen, brother, I hope for the trading gods themselves that you're right. I truly do. I mean, I'm hella long a lot of tech names, right? Like I tell you guys all of my holdings, but I just think there might be a little bit more downside, a couple percentage points. But we're rolling into earnings season, right? Like, I mean, we talk about, I believe it was Micron or somebody along this, Micron Sanders just have stupid numbers and the stock decides to sell off a little bit, which is totally fine because it grew into the forecast before the numbers were even released. So if they come out good at some point, they're going to continue to rally. I don't deny that. But as for the nearer term, maybe we see another couple percentage points off to the downside. I could be so wrong, it's not even funny. And I would more than happily be wrong, right? I'd gladly be wrong just due to the fact that I'm long a lot of these names. But I also don't mind the fact that we ran into $200 here on NVDA. Like, look at this daily chart. Right, almost right off of this trend line right here. And I'm just smiling. I'm grinning ear to ear because why I get to buy some more. I was telling Sharif, man, like, listen.
What?
I'll transparent with you guys. I'm putting on, like, this is going to be the largest position that I've ever put on in my whole entire life.
On NVIDIA? Yeah, you were telling me that yesterday.
Like, it's
like a psycho.
Hey, man, listen, Sharif. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to be a little bit crazy in order to do that, but with big risk comes big reward. And I understand that there's the opposite side of things, but I'm going to be an optimist here and just say, hey, like I'm ready to rock and roll on this thing and just make something the largest that I've never seen. And I'm more than willing to get uncomfortable, and I'll get comfortable with being uncomfortable. The thing is that we watch this stuff every day, so it's just like when you're putting on that size and I'm continuously buying more and more, and the fluctuation within the actual underlying asset itself can be intimidating. But hey, man, I've been there before. I had some fun with Canopy Growth Corp and Moderna, so I'm like, what am I even doing here? I have a diverse portfolio already, but now it's just time. Concentration can give you the biggest reward, but it also gives you the biggest risk as well, too, and I'm willing to sit through it.
All right, man. Shout out to Big Bobby, Top G, Sharif. I'm back from France. My FIFA bracket was all over ESPN. I had the last standing bracket for 2 days, LMAO. Sad England broke my heart and took out Haaland. Look, you know, I wasn't sad about that, right? I was cheering for England. What I was sad about, of course, was the English result versus the Argentinians. S. Dot just, okay, I gotta interrupt. Get it, Bovin. S. Dot just halted up. Bovin was of the opinion that this one had to take out $24, and boy, oh boy, was Bovin right on this one. Attaboy, Bovin. We are halted up on SDOT. 26.18. We're going to pull up the theoretical auction price and the halt time in 1 second. Let's load it up on a trading screen because the dot is back in business, baby, and we're happy about that. That gives us something to fixate over right now. Okay, Joseph, Mr. Options. The tap Bovin is 26.18. So right at the halt price, the halt time, it's 19 now, up 18, 19. Halt time, 11:53.54. Earliest open, 11:58.54. Get ready, because this one could have a good move. I built in a position here into SLND, and I also want to build a position into the sell. We're going to take off KLRS because that's losing. It's losing it at the moment. The sell looks like it might be headed to 19 here. So we're going to give this one the old community college try. And we're going to give this the prior area low, 18.58. All right, so let's go ahead, throw that on there, Mr. Options. We'll give it a little bit of room. What do we get? We got 92s. Let's wet the beak here in front of the whole dollar area. There it goes right up into the whole dollar area, but doesn't cross. So we need this monster to cross. Let's go ahead and wait a little bit higher as well. And we'll set up some orders here. This will require, of course, a high day break, but let's see what we get on this monster. So that's what I'm involved with now. We're back. We're in the sell. I was never in the sell before. And we are currently still holding a position here into SLND, which we're all of a sudden break even on. So let's go ahead, wet the beak at some possible levels here. We'll see if SLND can take out area highs, Joey, because it's zigging and zagging. Bovin, S-Dot could get into $28 and break. That could get to 30 quick. Don't disagree with you, Bovin. I just saw this thing rip up from 24 and change. Where's S-Dot? Eek. Okay, so let's put S-Dot over here. We're going to take, oh, that's why. I had to click it one more time. It's like, I thought I loaded it. 26.19 still. The way that I saw this rip through 24, Bovin, into 26, I wouldn't put 30 past this at all. It could absolutely do that. So be on the lookout for that. But there goes F-Cell. We got 92s. It's already taking out some area highs here through 19. Let's wet the beak and see if we can take out a little bit more. 19.10 high, Mr. Options. We're showing 6. We're looking for more here on the sell as it looks to recover. I got stopped out, sadly, of F-Cell in my swing account, but we stayed profitable on it, so pleased about that. Not pleased, of course, that it has a 10% day without me, but the market giveth. And you know what else it does? It taketh away. Sometimes with two hands, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little stingy on the giving sometimes, and then it takes that's for sure. It makes it a lot more difficult. There goes the cues. Yeah, I mean, buying pressure stepping in. And I said to Juan, we were thinking about the long here, and it's like shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Like I see the prints. I'm a little bit more patient just in case you get that breakdown, but now you're putting in a new high of the day. You're still down 1.5% here, though, or down 1%, sorry, I should say. This is 3x. For some reason, I always keep this thinking it's 2x. But anyways, aside from that, a nice recovery across the board, and I think this is justifiable. Okay. Gaurav and I were talking about it. Like, what are we gapping down here? A couple of percentage points for, and then now we're starting to recover and head back towards there via momentum. And same thing with the SPY. SPY doing some good things here. Let's head over to the financials actually and see how,
bro. What are they looking like today?
I mean, they're chilling out, man. They're not doing anything crazy. They're just
figured we'd move a little bit after earnings. You know, a couple of days, 2-day, 3-day rule.
With the numbers, yeah. But see, the thing is, though, Wall Street has a lot of time, Sharif, and they're gonna be like, hey, man, we'll just ride this out. We'll allow this in a couple of years because our positions are so big. I don't mind 3-4 years to make a couple billion or whatever it is that they make. But we had Walmart that was up pretty big, almost 3%, bright and early this morning as the rotation as some of these staples is driving right back into the tech trade because where are we? Almost at the high of the day on NVDA, which was down $6 almost from where we're currently trading at. There goes the high of the day on the Nasdaq after that gap down. 20 seconds to open. There goes CrowdStrike and PanW. PanW up 2% here today, tapping into a new all-time high. So that's looking pretty good. And then Robinhood. I like that. I talked about this here, ladies and gentlemen. This $100 level, right? It didn't hold up. Broke down into 98s. Let's see if we can get any form of continuation on this bad boy here right now. As for Coinbase, AC Slater to that one.
50 seller ripping new highs. This is really going, guys. S dot is on the move. Here comes 27, Bovin. 26.70. There seems to be a seller here on the dot. Flipping to the 5-second chart. Limit down 23.56. Limit down 23.56. That's flashing. We're still showing 25s. All right, so 26.5-ish seller, even though the high of the day is 26.95. Bleeding its own blood here into 25.50. Looking at the 5-second chart to spot areas of support. Not seeing any support quite yet, to be fair. 25, nope. Still continuing to put in lower highs, lower lows on the 5. So let's let this one set up. Look for a 24 to 25 hold. Let's see how that does. How are we doing over here on the sell? The sell continues to please me here, man. Right up into the area high. We get 17s. We're looking for more now, Joey. We're looking for 20-something pennies there on FCEL. We're packing the patience on that. And I don't know about this SLND fake out breakout, man. I'm looking for that continuation into the mid-teens. We're not getting it. How's the dot doing? The dot's back, and it's got a new high a day, 27.40. What a hold there of 25.50. Man, this one, I look away for seconds, and it just rips back up. Here we go again, showing a good amount of buying here in the mid to high 26s. Let's see. Do we get a buyer stepping in? We're in the low 26s now. Let's give this one the old college try. Breakthrough 26 ends the trade. Oh, well, it's coming down into 26, Joey. That's not good. We're looking for a move above 27.49 buyer here. Let's see if we pop back up. Anything below 26 on the ask ends the trade for me on the dot. We're not going to, I just have too much going on today to be able to fixate on this one, especially multiple halters. Let's put something up in near 27 and then maybe a little above 27. That's, of course, predicated upon it holding 26, which it's at, and it failed, and I'm out. I have to give back on that one. That sucks, but the market giveth and the market taketh away on the dot. So we suck on SDOT.
Something stepping in.
Yeah. FCEL just ripped up. Something's going on in the market. I'm looking at my blotter just 1 second, Assassino, because the market went all sorts of haywire right now. Did you see? What would you see specifically on the T-triple-Qs? Okay, so something's going on there on the T-triple-Qs. As soon as we find out, we'll let you know if there is anything. We're going to send it up to CF for happening now, and then Neil's lesson of the day.
Keeping an eye out here, market dropping a little bit, and also Google a bit to the downside as well. So Google significantly delayed. Our sources familiar with the matter that are stating and have told the LA Times that Google is significantly delayed on its flagship Gemini 3.5 Pro model because of difficulties improving its coding capabilities. Google sliding towards the downside. Gemini 3.5 Pro model delayed because of difficulties improving its coding capabilities is coming from sources citing the LA Times. Let's take a look at what is going on with the market. As you do know, the SPY currently sliding to the downside. It's down very inching close to 1%, just a half less. We have the triple Qs up down 1%. The Dow is down significantly flat on the day, inching towards red. The IWM down 0.41%. Let's take a look at a couple things that we're talking about here. We're going to take a look at BRKB first. Let's take a look. Berkshire Hathaway. So climbed more than 1% today, currently up 0.50%. It's 0.50%. It had outperformed the broader market as investors have rotated more into defense stocks over all the tech sell-off that we're seeing going on in the market at the moment. And the gains have also been fueled by growing optimism that BRKB has stepped up share repurchases in the second quarter. So this is like Barron's estimate saying that Berkshire may have bought back the range of between $5 billion and $11 billion of its own stock during this period based on calculations that have been used by information disclosed in Warren Buffett's securities filing that was earlier this week tied to his annual charitable gifts. Also, certain retail stocks have sidestepped the broader market's volatility this week as well. We're going to take a look at the ticker XRT. That's the State Street Spider S&P Retail ETF, gaining over 2.5% so far this week. We have, by comparison, the broader S&P 500 has fallen over 1.5%. Auto retailer Group 1 has also led the ticker higher this week with the gain of more than 9%, stock being on track for its biggest weekly gain since the year of 2024. We also have names like CarMax, that's KMX, and National Vision, that's EYEI, also following, each adding more than 8% to the same. The ETF XRT down on the day, very close to 8%. Before we get back to the guys, we're going to hand it over to Neil for his lesson of the day.
Thank you, Sia. Before we get into the lesson of the day, just quickly, I didn't really see or find a headline for the spike there in USO, but I know there is. And if we can, Adair is going to put up on the screen. I was just going to ask, Adair is going to throw it up on the screen to explain what just happened in the market, sending dozens more refueling planes to Israel. Ahead of possible escalation. That's from Axios. So there you go. That's going to be the cause of that last little bump up that we just saw over in USO. A little bit of a downtick in the Nasdaq and in the ES after we got this. But anyway, now I can get into the lesson, because I think one of the things that you saw this morning is, I'm a big proponent of I'm going to follow the pattern until the higher time frame pattern until there's time that it doesn't work. And we're going to roll with it. And if something works every single day, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to take it on the 5th day. And as long as it follows my patterns, I'm going to keep giving it shots. But you have to find a way that if you're going to be wrong on something, you're going to lose on something, how do you minimize the damage, right? So, every single day I've been short silver multiple times, not just like, short it once and then be done, find places to reload, try to get the secondary breakdown. Like when it breaks, short it early, but when it breaks trend, get it later, and short consolidations. Like just continue with the trade, not just get it once and hold it all day. But as it's trending up, I have to apply the same mentality when I'm looking for multiple things. Like I want to short under the prior low. I want to short key resistance. I want to short underneath the absolute top from yesterday. So those are going to give me some levels to work from. And the most important thing that I've found has worked for me is it's this. If I enter a short position and I have my stop, like I don't want to be shotgunning out in the bottom. I want to be holding through lower the day, giving it room to work. Once it's broken, I'm going to flat out leave it alone for the next gap. Once it breaks out of here from that prior low, I want to engage not at all until it goes to the next resistance. Like see that little, like this little effort in here where there's one little turn back and you're like, oh, there's another short coming in. No, I try not to take those and just sit it out until it gets to the next key level. And then when it starts activating off of that level, 50.5, if you saw in my note, I put down 50.5 for SLV. So when it got to that price level, this is where I'm engaging. I engage short, take some out at 1-to-1. It runs a stop but a topping tail. I get back in. I'm holding till that volume weighted average price. It bounces off VWAP. It then topping tails again around the same price. Like you get back in, but don't let it go through the top. It now breaks trend around that level. So I'm willing to engage multiple times in my key price area. In between, no mas. Once it was above VWAP here in that prior low, I'm not multiple engaging unless it's trending lower or giving me lots of reloads around that price. It's about being, one of the things I'll talk about is like, you gotta be where your bread is buttered. You not only want to trade the strategies that make the most money for you, but you want to be the most active around the key price levels that you're supposed to be engaging in. So like I'll be one and done on a stock if all it does is shoot one time here and not work and then just go parabolic up right through every other level, I probably don't trade it again. But if it's gonna linger around my key price level, I'm gonna try to stay active if I can because it's fitting my rules, it's doing what I want, it's showing me resistance where I'm expecting it, so I wanna make sure that I'm gonna take advantage of it. What that does mean, and this is where the discipline comes in, there will be gaps between key price levels. It's entirely possible that I get stopped out here, it never gets to the levels that I wanna start trading it again, and next thing you know, you're heading lower, and I might miss the trade, right? Like I don't get back in. Like this one right in here was the top, and then it flushes, and then I miss that pullback. That can easily happen. I'll show you, like if you were in here on SLV a few days ago, when it just ramp job to the upside, does a bit of a triple top. And by the time it takes VWAP again for this, if you miss this short, like you're just sitting there FOMOing yourself. Because it's like, oh, like maybe I liked 55 or something, or 50, and it just, you miss all of that top. You've got to be willing to miss the trade to make the trade. That's a certain part of being disciplined in any regard. And sometimes you're just not going to get in again, and maybe it continues flushing the rest of the day. Or ripping if you were trying to buy the dip. That's going to be par for the course. Because ultimately, you've got to stick to what got you there. And if following a pattern for 5 days now on SLV will make it my best stock in the week, on the 5th day, if the short's not good, then I lose on it. So what? So be it. That's part of trading. The way I always approach it is when you make a bet in trading, I get in, I have targets, I throw stop. I have spent that money. 63 short, 77 stop. That 14 cents plus plenty of slippage, 15 cents. That is I've spent that money, it's gone. It's out of your pocket, it's out of your account. And then it's just a matter of whether you make it back and whether you make money on it after the fact. And when you start to think of it that way, you'll never really see me get like too worked up about it because like, hey, the money's out of the account every single time. And if you've been able to get it back on that same strategy, well, then it's okay to keep going to the well, but with discipline, right? Like I'm going to make sure that I take some profit, know where my targets are, never hold past the stop, wait till it's at my key price, and then just rinse and repeat. It's the best way to get not emotional. You'll never really see me get emotional about wins or losses because that's just how I roll because everything is pretty structured in that regard. But I'm going to get back and we're ending the lesson of the day and I have to talk about lunch because I have to. But USO right back into the highs as it continues to break. But the good news is the market is going. So the market's still going, even though we're getting oil flashing higher. So the strength that we're getting on the bounce in some of the chip names is able to withstand the spike that we just saw due to the escalation that could be pending. I guess from Axios, we could be pending. I'm not impressed. It was like rice and pork and some vegetables. The pork was basically like each piece was maybe 10 to 15% meat and the rest was fat. Which is okay if it's got that nice crisp or like the melt in your mouth kind of deal, but it was like the middle, like rubbery and whatnot. I'm giving this lunch a 2.7 and I've never given anything under 5. 2.7. It's batting 270 and this ain't baseball. Okay? This is lunch. And it wasn't, and I'm not usually that harsh. That being said, sometimes all you gotta do is make it up with a delicious oatmeal raisin cookie. And this is the last one, I'm gonna eat it now. Joe, I know you're not a big cookie guy, but you know what? It's like in the Matrix. You have a bite of that cookie and you forget all your troubles.
Man, go grab a nice slice at Nova too there, my guy. Because with that 2.7, that's not acceptable around these neck of the woods. But anyways, aside from that, guys, yeah, I'm not gonna be eating that pork either. But anyway.
You're not gonna eat the pork?
No.
Okay.
No, no.
Am I allowed to have it?
Yeah, you want it? I give it to you.
I'll give it a try if it's good, you know.
Well, I mean, it's all right. It's yours now, my guy. So there you go. But anyways, aside from that, the TQQs, you guys, maybe a potential short here on this one, but some indecision prints that may indicate that we might take an additional leg higher. Now, what I want to keep my eyes on for, and it may take a little bit longer than what we're expecting, is a run into this prior 703 level. I believe we're just going to continuously wick individuals out until a nice steady grind up into that north position there. Now we have NVDA doing the exact same thing. Look at it. It's almost a double top at this point, 205.31. And if we reject it again and we see some hardcore indecision prints, I think there's going to be a good opportunity. Or I could just be totally wrong here on the intraday session that the shorts aren't going to pan out how we were expecting it to. I'm going to allow that gap to get filled before we engage anymore. But here it is, the 3 attempts, I should say, we took. One of them was wrong, 2 of them correct. So that's why I'm being a little bit more patient here on today's session. Now, Google, as for Google, yesterday the news dropping a little bit of a delay here on Gemini. Oh, okay, here. I'm going to send it over to you, Sharif. Oh, is it my mic or?
Are you
to Unity? Yeah.
Just gonna read VinFast, brother. I think that's all they want.
Oh, okay. Did you not tell me there, Assassino? I didn't hear anything. Oh, okay, now I hear you. Yeah. Okay, now I hear you. All right, let's do this. Thanks, Tiff.
Get it, Joey.
VinFast continues to expand beyond vehicle sales. This week, VinFast India partnered with Shriram Finance to support EV financing access, while Green SM launched all-electric ride-hailing in Kazakhstan with VinFast and BF6 vehicles together. These moves highlight VinFast's broader mobility ecosystem. You can find them on the Nasdaq under ticker VFS, almost a new high of the day of the Nasdaq.
Boom. There goes S dot, man. There goes the dot through the high. Is it? Yeah. 28.13 high on the dot. We got 26.92. We're looking for more. While Neil was dropping said lesson, we got involved with SDOT, and more pleased I could not be. Let's see if we can decisively get through 28. The answer currently is no. 28.13 high. Looking for the seller here at $0.75 to get removed and taken out of the way, but that is not immediately happening at the moment. In fact, we're stair-stepping down. So let's see what we get here. I expect probably a little bit of a reversal. Current bar low on this one is 26.23. So we just opened up a new bar now. Watch out for the loss of 26.23. That changes the position here. So I'm out of the money now on this. So as it dips down into 26, I'm looking for a prior bar hold. Right? Not strictly. I want this one to be trading above 26 generally, but this is putting me out of the money here now. Watching, we're just like almost $1.50 in the money. Now we're out of the money. That's how this one trades, man. It giveth and it taketh away. Continuing to watch, looking for areas of support and resistance. Let me flip to the 5 here, which I just took off. Great. There we go. Let's flip to the 5-second chart. Buyer at the $0.50 here from previous occasion. Let's see if we can kind of mosey on back up into some area highs. Let's put some beak wetters above that level and then into 27s as well. What are we getting here? We're getting a $0.75 seller again, but now I'm seeing it move on up a little bit. I just saw the level 1 flash 90s and it's flashing 80s again over here. So bizarre with the level 1, the level 2 not jiving, but looking for a bigger move up above 27. I've got 81s now, having defended that $0.50. I saw a bit of a buyer there from the prior area low. So the prior area low was right at that 26.23 area. Let's see, the $0.25 not being cleared here, Joey. So S dot slowing down a little bit, and I'm starting to get feels that this one could flush a little bit. So looking for that loss of the $0.50, that gets me likely out of the trade. But if it can curl above 27, this one would be good, especially with a big price spike up. But here it comes again, testing that $0.50, showing 67. On the level 2. So there it goes into 91. No continuity, though, through that level. And when it gets higher up on the ask, the bid doesn't move up. So the spread really opens up, and that makes it hard to get a fill, right? So that is what I'm kind of dealing with. There it goes, through 27 again. Can we get a little bit higher? 26.80, looking for a nicer move here to test that $28 level again on SDOT, but it's not immediately apparent when that's going to happen, Joe. So keeping an eye on this one. What do you got?
Good stuff. All right, yeah, we're just looking for a little scalp here. Oh, see, that was my opportunity to take that scalp on the Nasdaq, as it's going to scream and probably put in a new high of the day right now. So you have to be cautious with this one, right? And we went full risk on that. Should have took the scalp for what it was. As there goes Meta. Meta, something popping in Meta here. That's going to be our green light to get out of Dodge on this bad boy, Sharif, as we get a big-time volume spike on META, Zuckerberg and company. Now, a couple of spikes coming into the market here today. We'll hold on to this until we have a 1-minute candle open up above this range, and then that'll be our green light to get out on this one. We'll give some back, stay slightly positive, and then we'll just wait for a couple more opportunities as we're starting to come back in here a little bit. If this thing sells off now off of that volatility spike, then I think we'll be okay. Maybe we can get out scotch-free. So let's see, man. Keep an eye on this tape. It's definitely been a war, and I'm going against trend right now, which makes things significantly more difficult and uneasy. So there is a 1-minute candle opening up on the top end of the range here, ladies and gentlemen. We need that next clean flush to come in on the bid so we can push price a little bit lower. If it hits the ask, then we might be in a little bit of trouble and continue to grind to the northeast. There it is. We're going to get that Meta news. There is our green light to get out here on the Nasdaq. Tough to short this bad boy with Meta going higher, especially after that move. What do you have, Adara?
Meta's still climbing here as the New York Times reports that the company is in talks to lease computing power to Anthropic. So once again, New York Times reporting that Meta could be leasing some computing power to AI giant Anthropic. Back to you.
There you go. You've been calling that for a while. I got to give you credit on that. That was your call. You asked, and Zoox granted. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Selling it $1.50, man. Cheap barrel of compute. Yeah, all right, we'll go over to see it for that small cap recap. Let's pull up Meta's price action here. As it was selling, it was definitely one of the heavier hit mags this morning. Now we can just abandon, like we're slightly green. We do give back the majority of that here, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Meta to the top side, this is one of the hardest hit mag 7s. That's why I just always stick to, I typically stick to the long side of things because you never know when these volatility spikes are going to step in. I'll try one more attempt on it, and if it doesn't work, then by all means, AC Slater to that one. See ya.
The IWM currently is down 0.31% at the moment. Let's take a look at two individual tickers I picked for you right now. ENOV down 3.6%. So this is an innovation-driven medical technology growth company. It has announced that it will host an investor conference call and live webcast to discuss its second quarter 2026 financial earnings on Thursday, August 6th. This will happen before the bell, pre-market. BYRN down 1.4% on the day. You have the company has reported a weak second quarter, with revenue down 42 to 43% to $16.39 million and GAAP loss of $10.09 million.
Thank you very much for that, Sia. Still in the dot here, back above 27, but for how long? Seller at 18, 19, in and around that fifth of a dollar there. Goes into the quarter dollar. No continuity, though. We've got 75s here. We're looking for more. I'm looking for a bigger move on the dot. I'm looking for a big $28 breach and take. And we're suffering here with 27. Into 27 and a third, $0.50 showing up here on the dot, taking out most of my orders now. The great majority of my orders that remain are above 28. Is that too, is my head, too much in the sky, thinking we can get back above 28? But we're about 50 penny buffer, which means 0 on SDOT, because this thing can move 50 pennies super quick, showing the third of a dollar here resistance. Now, I got to mention that I'm still involved in SLND, but I'm liking the look of that one's jib right back down below 27 again on SDOT. Jeez Louise. This is very sideways price action. It's not bad price action, though, which is why I'm not bailing, right? I don't see bad price action here at the moment. I'm looking at the 5 second. I'm looking at the 5 minute. There seems to be a buyer of note every single time at 26.50 to 26.25. That's happened multiple times. But by the same token, that same seller keeps coming in at the third to a half of a dollar, 27 and a third, 27 and a half. We're showing the third of a dollar again, zigging and zagging between that and the quarter. So, yeah, I'm looking for a bigger move up. Below 26 ends the trade for me. I've been adding on the dips, as you can see, on the 26 and a half, 26 and a quarter defend, which has certainly helped my cost basis after an initial high entry for a breakout trade. But the fact of the matter is, we're still sideways price action here. So there's nothing to celebrate, even though we're in the money. But I'm looking for a bigger move through Joey. Like, if I don't get that 28 breach, I wouldn't consider this, a positive trade. Into 69 we go. There we go. Seller at 69. Let's wet the beak. We're pretty close to 28. There's a huge 69 seller there. Look at the amount of selling coming in at that level, and it doesn't even budge. Into 77 we go. No, but they're showing up again at 68, 69. So now we're over a dollar in the money, but there it is, into 45. Can we get another 28 break? We got good shares, so we can take a little bit more out here. There goes 28, Mr. Options, and there is the $0.50. You're up, bro. There we go, into 29, new high day break. We're up big on this one now. Let's take it out here. Let's take out some out here, my man. Boom. On the dot, into the high of the day, $2 in the money. We took out 3, $29.50 is the high. Let's watch out, $29.86 limit up. Watch this one to try to limit up here. Big move on SDOT. Very happy with this trade. Mr. Options. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, all right, let's see. I'm posted up. Now, as for the Nasdaq, we had that top picked out, maybe just a little bit too tight of a stop. Now I'm going to post up for this pullback here and wait to see if we can get that additional leg lower. What I'm looking for is a bounce at this key pivot. I wasn't going to chase it because we're going to keep a tight risk to reward on that one. So we'll keep an eye out on the Nasdaq here. Now, Joe, bag holding INTC 108, worried about a gap fill towards $70 after earnings. Sell 108, saving covered calls now or wait until after earnings? That's a great question, man. Let's pull up this name and see what we got going on now. Yeah, I don't know if you're like, hey, I understand the situation that 108, I don't believe is a horrible price. What are we trading at right now? I don't think this is absolutely disastrous, if you ask me. I think if you're a little bit more patient, you'll be able to get out maybe break even or something off of a couple of solid sessions. Like, it's not all the way up here, which would be more of a stretch. 108 is definitely something I can see a pullback into. I don't think that's high enough in order for you to write some covered calls, especially if you're looking for longer duration. Anything can happen obviously after the earning report. So do this. Let the report release. If it works in your favor and it climbs back up to 108, then maybe you can relieve some pressure. But if it continues to tank, what will happen is you'll have an increase in implied volatility, which will allow you to collect a little bit more premium on your contracts. And if it's south of some of the support levels over here and enters this gap that you're referring to, then you can write something a little bit closer. I think that's the ideal plan, just due to the fact that you will get that increase in implied volatility. So I would wait after the report just in case it comes against you, unless you're willing to get your shares assigned at the 108 strike price, which is your average, all right? So here it is, right? So just another missed opportunity on this one. Couple of more minutes if we held it. So now this pullback, as long as we fail to establish a new high, then I think we'll be okay on this one. And we'll see how this pullback reacts right now. It's going to happen. But what I'm noticing is that we're tracking NVDA price action pretty close here today. Very identical chart patterns on the session, except for this name actually didn't put in a new HOD. It just put in a lower high. So we'll keep an eye out on it. We will get that level. We're posted up at 70s. We're going to go full size just for that additional move back into VWAP, Sharif.
All right, man. A little above 29, Joey. A little bit below 29 on the DOT. SDOT, of course. We lovingly call it the dot because I always have to give these stocks little nicknames, man. It's just kind of in my nature. I'm looking for a 30 breach, guys. It's a 29.74 high. Current 5-minute bar has a higher low. There's zero reason other than, just a monster seller coming in at random levels and halting down at 25.36, 25.82. There's no reason for me to get out at the moment. I'm looking for a decisive hold above 29 and a 30 touch. Right? It's a 29.74 high, so my next profit taker, by definition, will require a high day break. But you know how these the magnetic effects of some of these some of the price action, right? You get in, there we go, here we go again, Joey. 29.50. We're looking for a breach of the high day. Big seller at 50, monster seller at 50, 50 and 46, by the way. Keep showing up as sell orders there. So we haven't breached prior bar high. There's the 49 seller again. They killed him. It's up to $30. We're looking for more, Joey. Big seller at $30 here. We're looking for 30 and a quarter. So maybe we should flatten out here. Maybe we should flatten out the high at the $30 area, or should we wait for 30 and a quarter? There goes S-Dot into 30 and a quarter. And Assassino, while I was getting really excited, I got unplugged over here. So we're going to get plugged back in. But there it goes. This is a good trade. Very happy with this trade over here, man. 30.49, the high of the day. Pardon me?
So that's what I'm talking about.
I appreciate you, brother. 30.49, the high of the day. Go, S-Dot, go. It is on a rampage at the moment. Thank you very much, Neil, for telling me to look at this thing. I didn't have it on my purview initially because it was just moving sideways, but we kept the conviction behind it. Shout out to Bovin as well. Bovin was very biased with a 24.50 break, and more accurate he could not be. So we are done our trade on SDOT, and we're positive on the day. More pleased I could not be. Now, we're going to keep a look here on SLND because this one we're break even on, and it's doing nothing. Now, we did what the beak here at 112. It came up into 114, didn't cross, didn't get the print. Let's go back to the dot, because I see that the dot is back above 30 again, and this one could be a 35 touch and drop. Who knows? Let's see if we can get up number one into 31, or we can take out the 30.5, which is the high of the day currently, right? 30.49 HOD showing 40s again. This is going to explode again, isn't it? There it goes into another high day. 30.67. Here comes 31. Limit up is 32.20. There's 31. 30.97 high a day right now on SDOT. Up 115%. 17 million shares. That's all we've done, guys. And I really do mean that's all we've done. A tape mover like this, usually we're seeing 50, 60 million shares. But that hasn't happened yet. 30.97, still the high of the day. We're showing 60s here. So the buyers are still in control and the shorts are running scared. Let's see when that turns.
Absolutely. All right, man. Considering we're in FBL now, just printing an absolute disaster. So I was going to take it off of that high a day pop, which worked really well for us, but now starting to come back in. But here, we'll get into the report a little bit. Man, I don't know why I use my Frex at this break of the high of the day. This is a mega cap name. Like the momentum style plays don't typically work as well, but we'll hold it off. We'll hold on to it for as long as we can. If I realize this, we go back negative on the day, but that's all right, man. We got plenty of time left in the session, and we came out of a crazy hole yesterday, but we didn't close off. That was my only red day. I don't want to go back to back red here. Here, let's head over. I know Adara was touching on it momentarily. $10 billion deal here with Anthropic. Man, these guys need as much compute as possible. Why am I looking for this? Here it is. So Meta shares pair losses after report of potential $10 billion computing power deal with Anthropic. So a big-time move right there. Now starting to give back a little bit of its move here. Not too good of a look, especially on the 1-minute time frame, man. If we crack the low of the day, then we'll just be back to where we were on that initial loss with the TQQQs, which it looks like it wants. That pop up into there, now it's to the downside. Oh, man, oh, man. Yeah, and you got to watch out with these leverage plays here as this thing is absolutely tank city. All right, let's send it off to Sia.
Fastest. Let's take a look at what the market is doing right now. The S&P 500 down 0.60% on the day. We're going to take a look at a couple individual tickers. Moment, Apple trading flat. We have AVGO down 0.53%, whereas MU looking a bit strong today. Good looks since it's been bearish for the past 2 trading days. Up 3.8% right now, followed by GE, Cisco also up, and SNDK to the upside, the Dell RTX, and WDC Marvell as well. So we have TXN down 1.5%, AMD trading flat. We have tech services, Google down 2%, Meta down 3.5%. So Meta planning to hire top Amazon computing executive Dave Brown. And we had news, Adara broke a couple moments ago, the $10 billion deal with Anthropic to lease computing power. Now, Google is down 2% as well. They delayed their Gemini Pro 3.2 launch as well. We have Microsoft down 2% as well. Oracle up 2%. Palantir down 1.5%. With PNW up 2.3%. Netflix continuing to slide on the downside after its earnings report yesterday, which we will discuss in the news segment a bit more in depth. So stay here and don't go anywhere. We have Finance, BRKB, JPM, BAC all trading flat at the moment. We have Visa and MasterCard down over 1.5% at the moment. MS is down, but technically trading flat on the day. GS down 1%, over 1%. WFC flat, AXP down 1.5%. Retail trade, you have Amazon trading close down to 1% on the day. Walmart is flat. Costco and Home Depot that were bulls yesterday, a bit of a bearish sentiment here. And now Costco down close to 1% and Home Depot down 1.1% on the day with TJX flat. We have producer manufacturing, AMAT down 3%. CAT is up close to 8%. LRCX down 1%. GEV down 1.5%. Consumer non-durables, you have KOO sliding to the downside 3% here. We have PM down 8%. PG flat on the day. Health Tech looking a little bit strong, with the latter half looking a bit bearish as well. Lilly and J&J at least up 1%, and J&J is up a little over 8%, with ABBV up also over 1%. MRK trading flat on the day, and ABT up a little over 1% as well. Consumer durables, you have Tesla down 2.2%. So as of yesterday, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, that's the NHTSA, has said that it was denying a 2024 petition that was filed by Tesla to avoid a recall fix for nearly 20,000 vehicles with headlights that may exceed maximum lighting levels. XOM in the energy mineral sector very strong today. We know that we don't want this sector to be that strong because that means the oil prices are strong. XOM, CVX, all up. MPC, COP, PSX, all up on the day. The sector looking like one of the strongest for the day. However, utilities, transportation, communication, non-energy, a bit of a mixed sentiment across the board for these 4 sectors. However, in transportation, you have Uber down 2.7%. With that, consumer services also a little bit of a bearish sentiment with McDonald's and Disney down over 1% on the day.
Thank you very much, Sia. Great information, of course. There goes the dot, not into the high at day. My man, Adam James frickin' abroad. He's not really abroad anymore, Joey. Yeah, technically he's far, kilometer, mile-wise, but he's not abroad because he's on the other side of the country. Shout out to my man there. He was doing it live in Van City, enjoying his time as he always does with the wifey. Love the videos, love the pictures, brother. Keep them coming. Love the content, by the way. Smash Bros. If S-Dot clears 31.25, then it races, baby. Yeah, well, we'll see. But let's see what Adam's talking about. Ding, ding, ding. See, you didn't talk about the McGregor fight, eh?
Nothing to talk about, man.
Nothing to talk about there, eh? He clipped his, what is it, his knee?
Yeah,
what is it, the knee? Oh. All right, let's look at this, Joey. So, what are we talking about here, Adam? I like that $40 level on the dot. Why are you looking at 31.25? What are you seeing, Adam? 31.25. This is the July 9 high, which is 35.70. We haven't been at this level, Adam, since the July 9th high, which ended up being a red day. So tell me why you're looking at 31.25, brother. You don't need to super again, but just tell me. Bovin, I'm 100% done after S-Dot ends. Huge green day, not giving it back. That's what I want to hear, Adam. Obviously, love to hear that, but I want an explanation as to why you're looking at 31.25. In any event, explanation or not, S-Dot's kind of compressing here, and it may be looking to take out 30 again, prior bar high on the 5. 30.55, current bar high 30. We take out that $0.50 seller. There it goes into 61. The dot's on the move. It's loaded up. Yeah, holding above 30, but not maintaining the price level above prior bar high, which is 55s, right? Look, seeing the $0.25. There's the third of a dollar. Can we see half here? Continuing to watch SDOT. It's the best mover in the market right now. Small cap, gapper, or otherwise. I mean, look at something so parabolic. So 30.97 high, guys, but we are getting a lot of topping tail candles into the 30.5. So that has my spidey sense feeling that there is a pretty convicted profit taker and or short seller at that said $30.5 area, give or take. I'm not talking exact levels here. I'm talking about area. So let's watch to see if we can take out that area high, because currently the 5-minute chart looks like there's a couple of topping tail candles, both of which fail 30 and both of which top out at 30.5. So watching this. TL, not abroad, but a dude. TLPYO. Did I even mention you? But thank you for.
But I think no. But you know how you're saying Adam James abroad. See what he's doing there.
See, that's why you're smart, bro. My man. Shout out to. All right. How do I say your name? Tlipo? Bovin. I was thinking 32. Goes 35 to 38. That makes more sense to me, Bovin, especially because we were at area highs like just less than a week ago or around a week ago, right? It's failing 30 again, though, Bovin. I don't like this $30 price action over here. A lot of topping tail candles are coming in. What is that in here? Oh, my days. What is going on? Oh, my days. Anyway, a lot of topping tail candles on this one. Be careful, guys. These ones are around for a good time, not a long time. Most of them don't have a long win there. Limit down is 26.87. Limit down 26.87. We're bleeding here, Joey. 27 incoming, 26.87 limit down. So right now we're getting a monster red candle. Tilp, yo. Okay, I'll say it like that every time now, and then we'll lose viewers. I'm playing. 26.61 limit down now on SDOT. Guys, that's a big red candle, and I would suggest to you at least an initial rejection of 30. 0 closing prints above $30 on the 5-minute chart. It's coming down into 27. 26.61 limit down. $27 though is the 10 EMA on the 5, which we have defended essentially since the breakout, I want to say, at around 11:45. Bovin got 26.25. He says, I think it has to hold 26.25. I need it to hold generally 27, Bovin, but I see your point about 26.25. The candle at the 12.10 and 12.15 bottom out there. There was certainly a buyer. Very astute of you, Bovin, to point that out, because those candles have 2 bottoming tail candles right into the $0.25. So if you lose that $0.25, well, then those buyers here, they're gone. So deciphered there from the OG Bovin. What else we got here? This guy, bro, TLPYA. Have fun, brother.
What's he saying?
I don't know, man. He's telling me how to say his name, and it's
how do you say it?
TLPO.
All right, okay. Then. Yeah. Ayo.
Look what I got here, guys.
Ayo Lewis. Wasn't Ayo Lewis? Where is Ayo Lewis,
man? And I sent a message to your friend Jesse Hernandez as well. I didn't hear back from him.
He's been peeking in and out of the chat.
Has he actually?
Yeah, here and there in the morning time. We don't see. Yeah, he's made a little appearance. Yeah, and then that's.
He's good though.
I wouldn't know, man. I wouldn't know.
Oh, you weren't talking to him?
No, he never replied. He just made he made like a little kind of like a comment out of the dark there, and he's just like, all right. So
comments are
It was a good one though. Yeah, at least he showed face, and then he said, I'll be damned is pretty much what he got going on over there. All right, let's see if we can get this high of the day break on this thing, man. Listen, I was going to have a choice words for Zuck and company if we weren't going to have the ability to break through this high of the day on this $10 billion.
What were you going to say to him, Joey?
Like, well, I mean, hey, now we can somewhat justify all of this CapEx spending, because if this $10 billion Anthropic deal is actually legit, why are we not continuing to move a little bit higher? So there was a clean bounce off of VWAP. Now we just need to see if we're going to get that high of the day break. If not at those lows, we got to look to get out of that position because it was not good. We gave back all our day and then some at the lows. But at this pace, we'll try to diamond hands this one, and hopefully we're in the camp of where we break through the high of the day with the Nasdaq starting to come back in. It's not looking too great. So at some point, maybe we have to Christian Bale on this one, but I'm going to try to hold on for a little bit longer because I do like our chances. I don't think this is a small thing, but it just shows you that it doesn't matter sometimes. Like, it's like, hey, if we were in a different sentiment of what we're currently at right now, where we kind of started the day off negative, I think the street would be looking at this a little bit different. Because, like, hey, man, we know Zuck has been spending some of the most amounts of money amongst the hyperscalers, and we're like, what's this guy gonna do to turn things around if he doesn't turn a profit on his LLM tools? All right, well, we got this. This is what we were all waiting for. All right, a cloud division. Now we're actually starting to see numbers being placed, thrown around $10 billion with Anthropic. I mean, I don't think it's the biggest deal, but it's better than nothing, in my opinion.
Hold on, I'm just messaging people in the chat. Sorry. Adam, I'm on Vancouver Island, FFS. Not Vancouver, massive disrespect. I'm sorry. What am I supposed to keep track of every aspect of your life? It's good enough that I know you're in the country, bro.
Get it right, bro.
Yeah, no, straight up, bro. Shout out to my man Adam. He had a super up here. He's like an Arret trading. He's a boss. He uses the 12, 22, and 55 SMA on the daily chart. It works very well. S-dot legit cap 31.25. The 12 SMA on daily. Peace. Shout out to Adam. Lucid. There goes Lucid, says Zen Zombie. All right. We see you there, man. Let's put on Lucid. Let's see what it's up to. But before I put on Lucid, Bovin did point this one out, and I'm starting to like it a little bit more here. Even though VWAP is, not being respected at all by BNRG, it is putting in a nice looking bull flag here. 93 penny high, showing 86.5 currently. I could get involved with this one, but we'll have to wait and see. What are we going to take off? We're going to take off SG, and we're going to put on LCID. Oh, into the high of the day. Okay, Lucid, we see you, man. 713 high, showing a 705 buyer here. 10 EMA on the 5 is at 7. Breakout level, give or take, is 7, 698, 695. So Lucid looking pretty good. Very interesting recovery from this one, man. I wonder if the Saudis are just putting in a permanent bid on this
Yeah,
thing.
they're just chewing it up. Yeah,
Just have money, bro.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you know. But can I say something, bro?
Yeah,
They've
really.
started pulling back a little bit on their excessive spend. Like some of the projects that they have in Saudi, they've scaled down. Right, Live. They let that one flop. They bailed out of that one, Joey. I'm hearing boxing now. The purses from Turkey may not be as aggressive going forward. We'll see. So I feel like they're starting to pump the brakes a little bit on the spending.
Yeah. I mean, hey, man, maybe they'll start charging tax over there.
That would be a first. I don't think they have.
No, they have not. There is no income tax over there.
My old man, before he moved to Canada, my old man moved to Canada in '87. Right? Before that, he went to Kuwait in '77. So he worked in two areas first: Central Africa in a city called Bungi.
Okay.
And in Kuwait.
Central Africa.
Central Africa.
Man, that's wicked, man.
The capital is called Bungi.
Okay.
Right. So he did two stints: one in Africa, one in the Gulf. And he went to Kuwait. And you know some of the Kuwaitis, bro? They actually get oil subsidies, like almost like guaranteed basic income.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they go in, they're like, yo, where's my cut of the oil? I don't know if they still do it, but they did it in the 70s.
Really,
Like, I don't know if they're
still.
So to build on your point, those Gulf states are cash rich.
There's no way they're doing that now.
I don't have no idea. This is Kuwait I'm talking about. We can find out. It's super easy to find out on the intranets. Anyway, what are you looking at, brother? Because SLNG,
I'm the same thing.
I have to cover this.
I had the opportunity to get out break even, but I figured just at this pace we were going to break at the high of the day. But there's clearly a resistance zone at 645. With that being said, let's pull up our options chain and see what we got going on here and why we can't break through this high of the day. It's just another test. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we sell off a little bit more, but I mean, at some point I just have, there we go. All right, some strong upticks in the overall market. You can do it, Tesla. I believe in you. To break the high of the day. Listen, there's going to be a horrible risk to reward. Anything north of $27, I'm just going to get out of the full thing and then look for something else, if I'm even fortunate enough to get that. We're pretty close to a high of the day here in NVDA. We got one here on the Nasdaq, so things are looking pretty good. Now let's head over to our
earning, Joey.
Like going up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
We're close. Green.
We're right back towards the high of the day. Hold on here now. What was I going to pull up? META and see what we got going on, because 50, there's some size, 645. I mean, let's head up into this 650 marker, man. Let's not be shy. We can do it. I guess patience is really key. Yeah. I mean, hey, I believe in I believe in magic. 14.8 thousand contracts open up at that specific zone right there, guys. Going to be expiring in the matter of about 3 hours and 15 minutes. Like 35K here today on these meta calls. Congratulations to you. I'll send you my email. You can send some over that way. If you're American, Venmo, I'll set up a Venmo account or something along those lines. No, I'm playing. Congratulations. And it is Friday, right? So don't go gung-ho or go to the casino and put it all on black or anything along those lines. Like maybe
you don't want that drive of shame.
Maybe go black and then a couple in between and outside picks on there. No, I'm joking. Just lock that in, guys, just in case there's a rainy day. You're going to be seeing pretty in Suntan City. So congratulations to you. Let's get this high of the day break on Facebook.
All right. Buvin is still talking about the dot here, SDOT, but Buvin, I've moved on. SLND, there goes SLND into the area high of 122. We got 07s on here. We're looking for a decisive taking, though, Amir, of that 120 area, and we're not getting it. Shout out to Amir in the chat. He pointed out SLND as it bleeds its own blood down into the mid-teens. Should we wet the beak here a little bit, man? I'm going to take out some here, lest this one drop a little bit more. Now, to be quite honest with you, been a fair amount of respect here of the higher low trend on SLND. Now, if you're looking for this one to find exact area of support off the 10 or the 20, you were sorely disappointed because it didn't do that. But what it did do was give you that consistent uptrend. Let's flip to the 15. Take a gander of this one. Closing prints all above the 10, but it does wick below it. So the 15 looks much like the 5, not really much difference there. What I'm going to be looking for, obviously, is continuity through that 1 1/4 area, let alone 1 1/5. If it loses 110, though, Tiffany, I think I'm going to take it out. because that was a 112 to 108 area was a bit of a range. We have 06s now on this one, not 7. So let's see what we get. Just quickly, before we send it to the big desk, I have to mention BNRG is making a move. It is continuing to hold up above prior area high. And this one could be at $1 sooner rather than later. Bovin called out BNRG. It is not failing like a lot of the ones that, you know, come up midday. They have a big move. They drop right back down. This one's hanging out. It's hanging out near highs. It's ripping into 91. 93 is the high. BNRG needs to be on focus for the small cap gapper incline. And while you think about that, ladies are going to tell you about this. There it goes.
Let's look at what the money markets are doing at the moment. So we had Indonesia's central bank saying today that it had been monitoring the distribution of liquidity in banks to ensure that lenders have a liquidity level that supports their stability as well as the overall economic growth in the country. So now the overnight interbank rate in Indonesia has fallen to 6.17% as of Thursday night from 6.62% in June 2026. Now, also, on the other hand, let's take a look at what the pound is doing at the moment. So the pound slipped today, but it has been on track for its third consecutive weekly rise. UK assets have also been supporting this rise in the recent days. And finally, let's take a look at what the dollar is doing at the moment, hovering around 100.7 mark right now. The dollar seems to be flattish, but still, I would say a bit on the upside, 0.205%, near flat with minor fluctuations is what you could call this, following a rather slight rally driven by certain economic data that we've been receiving. With that, sending it back.
Thank you very much for that, Sia. Lemon, why are you laughing? SLND, that drop, dang, couldn't get my stop loss in at 117. I feel ya, Lemon. But you know what, Lemon family? Even though that drop is annoying, especially for the breakout traders, the trend is still intact. Look at the higher lows continue to hold up, right? So I'm going to hang out here. Now I may or may not add to the position. We'll see. But I'm liking the look of I'm liking the small caps today, man.
All right.
It's a lot better than, you know, yesterday was a good day. The couple of days prior to that, though, you know, a little wishy-washy there. Iffy. Look, here comes BNRG again. Bovin, this one got to 98 pennies. So now we're knocking the door of the dollar. Where do you think this holds up, Bovin? I'm seeing some support here at around 85 to 87, but I'm also thinking 90. Bovin's looking for a 105 break on BNRG. Shout out to my man Bovin on that. Now I'm looking for a dip trade on this, Bovin. I don't know how to get in. Right, I can give it to, I'm thinking 85. I don't know why I'm picking 85. I don't even want to use VWAP. I've made the point that VWAP here is not being respected. And here it comes. This could give me an entry opportunity. Here's what we're going to do, Joey. We're going to work in here little by little. We got, what do we got? We got 91s on that. Okay. So we'll if it goes without me, we got a smaller position on, so we won't make as much. But that's what I'm looking for there. And I also have to alert you guys, there goes Lucid again into the high of the day. Lucid's on its horse. It's been on its horse essentially since the afternoon session on the 14th because it recovered everything that it lost. It's made up it and then some. So LCID into 719, high a day. Keep your eye on that one. So I'm in BNRG here. I've got SLND and BNRG. We'll see how we do on these, but I'm looking for a bigger move. Now, I want to mention SDOT. SDOT as well. Bovin, look at what it did here, man. Bottoming tail candle, hammer candle, holding above the 10, and a breakout area of 28 as well. And now a current bar, the 1250 bar, is making a move above the 1245 bar. So we could be making a beeline here possibly through 29 and then 30. So keep SDOT on your watch. I don't think it's done quite yet, but trade it carefully, okay? Because it could flush. Just make sure you're trading everything carefully, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Exactly, Joe. So we're going to throw beak wetter here at 93, come what may, and we're also going to throw one at 97. There we go. We get filled at 93. Let's post it in 97. 97 is technically below the high of the day at 98.10.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking at.
All right, man. Good stuff. All right. So yeah, if you want to talk about maybe not the best risk to reward, but we get out scotch-free, and I just like, all right, what's going on? This is what we were looking for here in the street. A little bit. If I was a bit more patient, then the risk to reward would have been drastically increased. So, what do we take around 15? We take some off there, and we go head up into 21. So this turned into something that could have been not so good into somewhat profitable here. So we'll take that for what it is. Is there Apple news? Is it moving right now? We can figure it out. I seen you sent me that. I seen you sent me that.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. You know that because I bought it. It came in.
It came in. All right, yeah, we'll touch on that.
There is Apple news. Here it is. Apple in early talks with the Department of Justice, apparently, to settle an antitrust lawsuit. This is being reported by the good folks at Bloomberg. Okay, I don't have more than that. As soon as we get more, or Adara gets more, or Sia gets more, we will let you know as soon as possible. But for the moment, that's all I'm getting. Department of Justice, antitrust lawsuit, looking to settle. We'll see how that ends up going, Joey. But Apple, it's flat on the day. It's down a quarter.
Yeah. I mean, there it is. Yeah, it's only down a quarter there, Sharif. A slight volume spike on this bad boy. Nothing crazy there. So maybe the street brushed that one off there to settle something. That means they already went through the process. And I mean, I'm probably just going to be a little bit of a cash.
Bro, you got to see what they're doing, bro. They are setting up to really go after OpenAI. They're really targeting their IPO. They're targeting their product releases. Apple is going after OpenAI.
Okay, talk to me.
Yeah, well, I just mentioned it, right? Well, we can go to on the news segment.
What did you? Sorry, I was kind of like.
So OpenAI wants to IPO, right?
Yeah.
They've been kicking that can down the road for a multitude of reasons, right? But Apple's acutely aware that they're doing that and that they were trying to set up their IPO vis-a-vis a couple of product launches before. So you'd have some momentum moving in. You got a physical device. It's supposed to be AI, capable, this, that, and the other. So Apple's specifically targeting them in that way. So as
product launches?
IPO, hurting their IPO by hamstringing them through injunctions on their product launches, of course, alleging IP theft, right? They're also going after their employees to hamstring them as well, so that any information that they have, they can't use. So they're, it's going to be an interesting look here.
There's a lot of people gunning for Sam Altman right now.
All right, let's send it to Adara.
So first here, I do have some oil news. Israel's Channel 12 basically saying that the U.S. has not communicated any plans to bring additional refueling aircraft to Israel. This kind of refutes reports that we heard about an hour ago from Axios suggesting that the U.S. was, in fact, going to be bringing additional refueling aircrafts to Israel. Secondly here, apparently there's a plan to reduce the number of refueling aircrafts, I guess here, to approximately 20. That's still ongoing. If I get any more details, I'll keep you posted. So more on this Apple antitrust thing. I haven't been able to find this Bloomberg article yet, but I looked into the actual antitrust case here. This goes back to 2024. And in terms of the lawsuit, they've been investigating since 2019. So it's been an ongoing investigation, just general kind of antitrust practices. In fact, actually specifically compared to a similar Microsoft-related antitrust suit, so just general big tech-related antitrust. Apparently, it's the DOJ in 15 states that were involved in the suit. So there could apparently at least be early settlement talks. I don't have any more details than that, but just to provide some context. Back to you.
I got a little bit more here, Adara, so we'll talk about it over here. Let's bring it in. Let's see if there's any new information. It's a new article that just came on the blotter. I'll zoom it in. Justice Department in early discussions about settling exactly what Adara was saying, the 2024 lawsuit that alleges the iPhone maker violated antitrust laws, according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, Josh Sisko, and Samuel Stolten, citing people familiar with the matter. Apple has made multiple offers this year to the department to bring the case to a close, and discussions are active, but there is no guarantee that the two sides will reach an agreement. Okay, so a couple of more pieces there. Nothing, breaking or anything like that. So second we get more, obviously, we shall let you know, as always. Now, here's the deal. BNRG turned on me, Bovin, and now we added at 84. So I stop out through 80 on this one. I got 87s on. I don't mind defending it into 80, but I want to see higher lows. So 1 minute chart, top of your screen, area low, and if this area doesn't hold up here as an area low, I'm out. So looking for this one to kind of retrace back, maybe give me another opportunity at the dollar, right? Showing 85 and a third. I got 80, what do I have? 87s? I got 86 and change, but it's rounding up into 87. So now I'm break even on it. 86 and a quarter showing up, looking for a bigger move up, looking at wetting the beak at 88, if that is to come in, first and foremost. I didn't really care too much about VWAP here, as I made very clear. I felt VWAP was cutting through the price action more like a line of best fit than any area of support or resistance. So I wasn't going to base my out on VWAP here, but I am going to base my out on prior area low. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what we're going to see. And how's the other trade doing? There goes SLND back into that 116 area. We're going to wet the beak here. And now we're looking for a breach of the $0.25. I got 22 high on this one. Let's see how it ends up holding up, Joey.
All right, man. Good stuff. Yeah, so, I mean, we went over that headline already on within Meta. We can just touch on it again one more time just in case anybody was curious. But there it goes, looking to break through the high of the day once again. We're still negative on the day on it, but, I mean, hey, there's light at the end of the tunnel for now anyways.
Here it is. Got the article.
You got it right there?
I got the article, yeah.
All right,
it's open to everybody. Here it is, guys. I'm going to throw it in the chat. So just published on Bloomberg now. Oh, it's too long to throw in the chat. Sorry. So I can't. The link is too long there. But here's the entire article. I'm just going to scroll through it so you can pause. And if you want to read it, there it is. So the entire article coming in vis-a-vis Bloomberg there. You can go ahead and read that if you guys want. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I mean, there it is, like a new high of the day, right? So that's not too bad. Let's head over to our watch list and see how everything's looking from a percentage metric. There's an additional, I believe, just another grab higher. So these pullbacks are pretty tight, right? There's this one back into the volume-weighted average price, and then you just put in a leg higher. So just be cautious. Try to catch us high to the, and this is my risk to reward, right? Like, I'm trying to catch us high towards the high of the day as possible to increase the R to R, which is really important. And the same narrative on all of these entries that we had today, with the exception of this one, which worked out. And that's why I kind of bailed. Christian bailed on this one a little bit early. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing. If we establish a new HOD, then I'll just allow price action to somewhat peak, and then we'll post up a couple of pennies away from the high on that one. So anyone shorting Intel, let's see, is this thing selling off today? We can figure it out. We can figure that one out here. Uh-oh, Sharif.
What happened, Joey?
Nothing. It's all right. We got it all solved now, yeah. How's Intel been performing on today's session with the high? Do you know what the all-time high is on Intel, Sharif?
150, 160, something like
142.
That. Pretty close.
142, pretty close. Down 36% off of the all-time high. So a little bit tougher of a look there. And then you head over to the Marvells and the ARMs of the world to see how they've been performing. Those stocks, unfortunately, have been cut in half, right? Dang. So 45% to the downside on Marvell and ARM. And these are the big-time runs. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Jensen. I didn't like... again, it doesn't really matter what I like or dislike or anything along those lines, but as soon as Jensen steps in as like, yeah, Marvell, potentially the next trillion-dollar name, you know how many people probably flocked? Was this it? Like, I don't know if this was the earnings day. I know Adara probably remembers the date. Pardon?
What date is it showing for you for that spike?
Maybe this is it, June 3rd, or sorry, no, June 2nd.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so there it is, right? Yeah. Like, so, okay, yeah, Jensen, next trillion-dollar company. You have a flock of individuals stepping in, and then, oh, yeah, guess what? Congratulations. You're now down 45% if you decided to go off of that. So that's why I'm not the biggest fan of that stuff.
Is that Marvell?
Yeah, man. Oh, it's down 40. Yeah, man. It's like what goes up must come down, and that's what I've been talking about for quite some time is just be patient on some of these trades, man. Otherwise, you're just going to be having a bad time buying some of these tops.
Yeah, man. No question about it. All right, Joey. We're going to get into the news segment soon, but I wanted to show this. Look what I got. So we bought this yesterday, Joey. So let me show this. So this is super interesting. So look at this. So it's like it measures your body fat, it's everything. So it's like you get your BMI, you get your body fat, you get your body composition, how much muscle you have, how much fat you have. But the cool thing about this is usually it sends that pulse either through your upper body or your lower body, right? So it's got these electrodes. And the one that's more accurate is the one with the feet, right? That sends, because you stand on a scale and it sends the signal through your feet. But the deal is, it doesn't give you a good reading on your upper, or an accurate reading on your upper body if there's no arm one. So this one actually comes with the arm one as well. So you kind of have the bottom and you have the arm one. So you're supposed to be able to get a cleaner upper body reading. So The beef with this one is, and a lot of the bad reviews are like, it's plus or minus 2%, 2 to 3% off your body fat.
Okay.
But the cool part about it is it's also trend following. So if it's wrong this Friday, it'll be wrong by the same amount next Friday.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying? So you're able to kind of like tell.
So that gauge is consistent. The variance in which it's wrong is consistent.
Yeah. So this we're going to be able. Other than that, man, you gotta do it at some lab, and it costs like $100 to actually
do all that stuff.
To get it done professionally, body composition, Okay. And why I'm doing this is because you have to have your body composition in order to determine your resting metabolic expenditure. Okay. How much you are burning just by being alive.
My guy, what are you training for, my boy? Just life.
Bro, you know, that's just like how I am, man.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it live.
That's like that's your thing, right? That's your gym.
So here's the deal. So you need your resting metabolic expenditure. You need 3 different data points. Resting metabolic expenditure, you need your caloric intake, right? And then you also need your output. So your resting metabolic expenditure is what you would burn just by being alive. So if you sat in bed all day, didn't move, how many calories would you burn just by your body maintaining its functions? That's one number. The other number, you need your caloric intake, how much food you're taking in. And then the last one is how much you're actually expending in your workouts and your movement. So you add those 3 numbers, you can make it super scientific. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with
this.
And
that's what that thing is? If it doesn't give you the ratings that you'd like, you return in that.
You know how Amazon is, man. They're super easy to deal with. You send it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, I'm going to give this one the old college try. I think it's from China, Joe.
Is it? Yeah, it's all right, man.
They do have BOD, POD in Canada. What does that mean, man? I don't even know what that means, man. What does that mean? Purple drank? Let me know, brother. I don't know what it means, Joe.
Purple, man. Los Pollos. I don't know, man. I don't know about SpaceX, to be honest with you. All I know is that I removed my bid at 125. I don't know. Let's just go back in the history of some of these other IPOs. There might be some more downside, man, unfortunately, on this thing. Yo, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
What do you feel? How do you feel about some of these companies like SpaceX, Anthropic, and OpenAI coming to market at such maturity? Do you feel
that's a bigger change than we've seen in the past, right? Like a lot of these companies are not as mature in the private markets. But we saw another trend lately where a lot of companies are staying private longer. Right?
But that's what I'm getting at. So how do you feel? Like, it's like, why at $1 trillion valuation are you coming to market now?
And then that brings a fantastic point, because private market valuations don't always jive with public market valuations. So what's worth A in the private market might be worth B in the public, right?
So would you say one is more valuable than the other? Or?
I think private companies, there's a private company premium. I think
that's what I was. The case. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting
bro. You don't have to disclose nearly as much information. So think about your competitive edge, right? Your competitors don't know your books like they would if you were a public company in the same way. Right?
Absolutely.
Like, I think that there is. Google BOD Pod. It's more accurate scan. Really, Google BOD Pod? Man, say less, man. We're gonna do a quick search.
Yeah, return that, John. Tell them you don't even want it now at this point.
Guy, bro. Google BOD Pod. Here, let's find out what this looks like, Joey. The BOD Pod at the Mayo Clinic. Can I buy it? Oh, this thing. Yeah, that's what I was hearing, man. I'm not gonna spend this kind of money, man.
Yeah, I get that, man.
That's what I heard. Crazy. That's what I heard. It's like $100 or something like that. How much is
that thing? Is $100?
No, to get it done.
Yeah,
to get it done at the Mayo Clinic. Like, they're not even putting the price here. They don't even want to tell you how much it's going to cost.
Yeah,
so they don't want to scare you off.
The
right?
BOD Pod. People ask me what my hat is. It is a Toronto Blue Jays hat.
Shout out to Fluffy. It's a good one. You can do it with whatever watch you have. Do you have that one, Fluff? I feel like you might have a similar one. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, Fluff. We're gonna do it live with the data. We're gonna make this as data driven.
Yeah, let's see.
We're gonna become like the Fed, right? We're gonna be very data driven. Shout out to OG Darth Trader. Huh?
Task Force. Yeah.
Task Force. Get it, Andre. Macro Factor app works great to estimate BMR if you're willing to track your food and have a digital scale. Get the withing scale. That's what Claude told me. Claude told me that one. But this one was on sale. It was 48% off. So we're going to give it the old college try. If it performs, we'll keep it. If it doesn't, we'll send it back. But it's on sale, man. Come on, man.
It's on sale, man.
It's on sale, Joey. So those $100 skills are inaccurate. Yeah, but I was saying to Joey, they're not accurate, as much as that Google bod pod thing is, but they're consistently inaccurate. So if they get your body fat percentage wrong by 2% this Friday, they'll get it wrong by 2% next Friday. The idea is to look for a trend. So you're looking for the trend down, not the exact number. I mean, I don't care. Say, oh, I'm 10% body fat, but as long as I'm seeing I'm in the right trend, that's why I'm doing this. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say. Fluffy, I do. Considering I have muscle on my upper body, it's pretty accurate. Love to hear it, Fluff. Love to hear it, Fluffy. She's been doing really well trading, too.
She's been smashing it.
She's been smashing
it.
Beware the monkey hammer.
Oh.
Get those morning cold dips. Brother, if I add anything into my morning routine, to be quite honest with you, like I don't have any more time. Like I'm just stacked with routines. Sia, I didn't quite hear what you said. Sorry, I was talking. You're good to go. Fantastic. All right, Assassino, if we can, let's send it up to Sia.
We're starting it right off with AMZN and Zoox software recall. Now, Amazon owns Zoox's recalled software in 105 of its robotaxis over concerns that the vehicles have failed to detect some kind of heavy smoke and drove right into it. Zoox had notified the NHTSA, we've been hearing this name a lot, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, of the recall on the 8th of July, this is coming in today, and said that it became aware of the smoke detection issue following an incident last month. So on the 20th of June, there was an unoccupied Zoox Robotaxi, thank God it was unoccupied, encountered a heavy smoke that obscured an active emergency fire scene that was not cordoned off with cones. Zoox has said that the vehicle had entered the scene, then it had braked hard while also attempting to steer away and finally come to a full halt. So this incident unfolded in Las Vegas in Nevada. And according to the report, a Zoox teleguidance employee had also said and instructed the vehicle to reverse, and the first responders on the scene had placed traffic cones to block off the complete scene. And Zoox has said that it had investigated the incident and determined that, quote unquote, it's the only event of this kind that has occurred and no other injuries have been suffered. With that, AMZN is down flat on the day. Okay.
Thank you, Sia, for that. What I don't like right away was that this recall here was not proactively done by the company. It was as a result of an aggressive behind-the-scenes directive from the NHTSA Administrator Jonathan Morrison, who issued the deadline by demanding that all of their AVs, developers, eliminate the first responder and emergency scene interference by the end of this month of this year or face severe federal penalties. So sounds pretty ominous here. It comes down to a LiDAR blind spot issue where it kind of exposed a critical flaw in the sensors. It relied heavily on LiDAR and radar, and the dense particles kind of scattered the light from the laser light, from my understanding of the reading. But there was also this remote teleguidance guy who came in. So it got stuck, the Zoox car, in a corner, and it was only able to navigate because an individual, a driver, remotely, human input from a remote place got it out of the trouble there. So, is it really fully autonomous? I know you like this. I'm not trying to dunk on it, right? Because I know you like Zoox, but it shows some.
Brother, there's think about how new the technology is.
Oh, brother,
right?
you're absolutely right.
Right, so it's extremely new, and you're going to have these speed bumps along the way. But to add to your point, Sharif, the company has issued a new software update where it's the LiDAR features are supposed to recognize and respond to heavy smoke conditions.
Okay.
So there you go, box checked, right? So there's another condition that maybe wasn't thought of as thoroughly. Now you're starting to see those improvements, and that's what I'm talking about. I can't wait to see this technology north of the border, right? Like in these hectic winter conditions. Why? Because you're going to have those software updates. I love the look of this thing. I don't know what it is. I just think it's so cool, man. Think about it, Sharif. If you're in a city or something along those lines, and you're traveling with your friends, you have your passport bros and your friends that you travel with. This is the ultimate vehicle. You get to face each other. You can look at each other, converse instead of having to be like,
They have those cars in England. You ever been in the black cab?
Bro, I've never been to England, man.
Pretty cool, man. You're looking at each other.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Remember you and I were talking about the old Mercedes-Benz that in the trunk, it had the seats?
Yeah, those were so good. They were in the Buicks as well, man. My mom had
That's like
that.
facing the other way.
The other side.
Right?
I used to sit on my own there, man, just look at the cars behind us.
That's funny, but
So
no,
sick.
in all seriousness, we're so new in this technology that you're gonna run into these speed bumps. I'm not gonna call them roadblocks because they'll figure it out eventually. And sure enough, you're already starting to see a software update.
Smokey Tuna doesn't like the car, Joey.
I mean, to each their own, right? Like if we all like the same things, then life would be a lot more simple. But that's not necessarily the case.
Randy,
do you like the
You're
Zoox?
not on camera, so we're speaking to you. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for Zoox.
No, don't worry about me, brother. Like you don't have
He
to look
doesn't like
direct.
it.
You don't
He
have to
doesn't
look
like
at me.
it.
That's fine.
He's actually debating this. Yeah. I'm
No,
talking
you.
to you.
It seems like you are.
Yeah,
If
'cause
you don't
didn't-
like
didn't-
it, no, you don't like it. That's
Yeah,
all
he
right.
doesn't like it.
Man,
Okay.
look at it.
He's a
Look how
purist, that's why.
Can
Because
we
it looks
pull my
like
screen?
that.
Yeah,
What
can we
is
pull
that?
up my screen?
There you go.
You don't like it? I love
I like that
the look of
it's
this
weird
thing.
looking, right?
Yeah,
if you're
man,
asking,
it's different.
Here, click
right?
that bad boy
yeah,
right there.
Hold on, man. Let's do it. We're
Click
doing
that
it
bad
live
boy
here,
right
man.
there. There you go. And
Doing
I'll
that
load it up
on
there,
here,
and I'll
yeah,
bring it in.
and
And
I'll bring it over
and
here,
zoom
and
in
then
on
we'll
that
zoom
bad
in
boy,
on
yeah.
here.
Yeah. Get it, Joey.
Yeah.
Where's the mic? There we go.
Where's the mic?
That's
You
what I
don't like. Look at this thing, man. It's
What does it
so
look?
cool. Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you remember the
boy.
movie Men in Black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where that's from.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, it does look like
There's little
that.
aliens in there.
Yeah,
It's-
man.
It's just, it's
so cool.
no.
There's no front end, right? Like if it needs to go the other way, it's just boom. You're going in the other direction. Yeah.
Joe, just say no.
No, I will
don't-
not.
don't
I
do
think
it.
it's the coolest looking
Don't.
thing.
Stick to your guns,
yeah,
Joey.
man, it's good stuff.
Just don't go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, Randy, I think some of the technology that they're throwing on that is cool. But I think they're gambling a little bit with the design here, right? Like, you know, it's so far-fetched from anything that really exists on the road. But still, so is a Cybertruck.
But exactly. That's the beauty of it, man. I just think this is the design that I believe is meant for the New Yorks, the Vegases of the world. They come into Toronto. You know
It's
what I
about
mean?
as aerodynamic as a
Right?
barn door.
Exactly. But then it gives you the idea it's not
But
meant to go fast.
It's not meant
Yeah.
for that. Remember that Toronto television show, The Cash Cab?
Love that
You know what
show,
I mean?
man.
So that
Yes,
is the
Joey.
Cash
The
Cab
Cash
over
Cab.
here. So it's
You can do the cash cab in that.
you can do the
bad boy,
Cash
man.
Cab in this thing.
Don't-
So it's a
don't-
bunch
don't
of
do
fun
it.
The
stuff.
host can give everybody attitude like he does on the actual show there, man. He always makes fun of people when they get it wrong.
Do they?
Yeah. It's like when they use a street shout out and they talk to like the completely wrong person.
Yeah,
it's like, why
they-
talk to this
yeah,
guy?
That's
the
just,
street shout-out is
that's
crazy.
wrong. It's just automotive diarrhea. I don't-
Automotive
Wow.
diarrhea.
Sorry, it's just like.
Hey man,
Ow.
listen. At least you're thinking out of the box with this thing.
No, that
And-
is the box.
Yeah, literally.
is the box.
That is
Oh
the
Don't,
box.
yeah, just,
God.
I
that's
like
enough.
it.
You
That
can-
Randy
all right,
dunked on it as much
No,
as he
it
could.
doesn't.
Close that
It doesn't
window,
matter
Joe.
what. It doesn't matter what we think. It only matters what Assassino and Tiffany think. Do you like this, Andre, or no?
Ew.
You're scared?
It's cute. He says
It's cute. It's cute.
bro.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll a good train. Oh, okay. He likes a train.
Oh,
Prefer the. Okay, we like that one. We'll figure out if Ramin, when she chimes into the chat, if she likes it or not. But
Oh, she's
yeah, I
not.
think we talked about this enough, Sharif. What do
Yeah,
you think?
you're absolutely right. I think we have a big next story that
Yeah.
a lot of people want to hear about.
Mercedes Sprinter as well have like swivel seats that you can install. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah. Just confirmed it. Fabian confirmed it too. Anyway, let's move on to our next story, Netflix. Adara, I remember that you wanted to talk about this story. So Netflix has reported second quarter revenue after the bell yesterday. You briefly discussed it, but we're going to go a little bit into the depth. So earnings have come out roughly in line with analyst estimates, roughly in line. Wall Street is expecting keeping a close eye on the company's metrics, as you do know it, mostly advertising and engagement here. So Netflix stock has fallen roughly 10% today, continuing to slide over 7% at the moment. And we have earnings per share at 80 cents versus 79 cents that was estimated, with revenue currently at $12.56 billion versus the $12.59 billion that was estimated. It's a slight miss, but it's still a miss. Revenue, however, up 13% year over year. So rise has been attributed to membership growth, pricing, and at the same time increased ad revenue. But earlier this year, we had Netflix that had raised its subscription prices across all the streaming plans. company had, as of yesterday, said that the results of those price hikes were consistent with prior changes and expectations. So net income for the second quarter has come in at $3.40 billion, or 80 cents per share, compared with the $3.13 billion, or 72 cents per share in the same period last year. It's also expecting third quarter revenue to grow over 12%, called its 2026 outlook consistent with earlier forecasts. Now, finally, we have the company saying that it will be narrowing its 2026 forecast range of revenue to $51 billion to $51.4 billion for the full fiscal year, from earlier guidance between $50.7 billion to $51.7 billion. And it said in a note that while live programming accounts for more than 5% of its content spending, it makes up only 1% of its viewing hours. This is coming in from their notes. And currently Netflix, we have down on the day 7.4%. Adara.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this. I have a couple infographics here on Netflix and XTV Research. I'm going to show you guys two here. The second one, which won't be coming out on the account until tomorrow, I'm going to do on the wall segment later today, so stay tuned. But let's start here with this just general breakdown. So this has its revenue all the way from Q2 2025 all the way up to Q3 2026. Now, what? They just reported Q2. They did, but Netflix does this thing that I find pretty interesting and actually kind of informative, where they include their Q3 guidance, or whatever the next quarter's guidance is, in the report for that quarter as just like a normal metric. Like, they don't have a separate guidance section. It's just baked into each of their metrics. So that's fun for me for making infographics. I don't think it's fun for Netflix, because it means I can hold them accountable and I know what they projected each quarter. So, and you know, they kind of, as we know, Q2 revenue here wasn't great. What I find interesting here is you do have a little bit of a decline here on the operating margin year over year, 33.4% for Q2 26. Q2 25, you had 34.1%. Now that revenue growth rate, we're seeing this continue to decline in Q3, so I don't think that's a great look. Let's talk about the second here of the Netflix infographics that I'll be showing you today. And again, stay tuned around 2:20 p.m. or so for the third, but here's the second. This is really interesting to me. Yes, of course, the UCAN, like the North American minus Mexico segment, is continuing to do really well here in Netflix in terms of its size. It's still by far the largest segment of Netflix revenue. But EMEA, so like European, that's like European Middle East revenue is creeping up here on that UCAN revenue. This is significant. Now, the other thing I want to mention that's significant are the growth rates. UCAN revenue only up 10% year over year versus 14% year over year growth in the Europe and Middle East region. You've got here Latin America here, that's going to be up 21% year over year, the Latin American region, and then the APAC region, Asian Pacific, that's going to be up 16% year over year. So all of these international areas are actually dwarfing North America in terms of growth. Now, I don't know if Netflix is doing this on purpose, but I think you could make an argument that they are. And I think it's smart because, and again, we're going to talk about this in the third infographic I'll show later, but see, if you look here at even the programs they're spotlighting, because another thing they do in their reports, which I think is cool, is they'll just include viewership metrics for some of the programs that came out over that quarter. Mm-hmm. And so they mostly spotlight, like they were, shining a spotlight on international programs. They barely mentioned anything, especially for shows. They might have mentioned like one, English language show. So I think it's interesting. I feel like, and I think this is smart, they're trying to emphasize international programming. You can really see this reflect here in their growth. What I think they need to do, though, in order to keep, U.S. and Canadian subscribers who are still spending more revenue in terms of like numbers of them, I think they, maybe balance that out more with consistently strong U.S. and Canadian English language programming, because I think they do a really good job of creative international programming. And I think the U.S. programming maybe has fallen off a bit in my experience, because I've watched a lot of international stuff on Netflix as well, and I think it's been pretty consistently strong. So that's my take here on Netflix's strategy, which I think you can kind of see reflecting on the revenue. We'll have to see what they do next quarter.
Thank you, Adara.
I have to echo some of that sentiment there by Adara, because I know that the Egyptian kind of Hollywood, so to speak, has been super disrupted by Netflix. Netflix has kind of taken over a lot of the soap operas and stuff like that come in. They're paying the actors far more than the regular production houses could ever. But to be quite honest with you, they can't stop focusing on North America, because North America is by far their highest margin product. They don't make nearly as much money in their international segments. But let's talk about the actual report, because there's a lot to dive into here. First and foremost, they have a lot of money still allocated for share repurchase. So perhaps if you were looking permanently short on this, they still got $27 billion in the tank that they can purchase shares back with. So I don't think we're going to see necessarily an aggressive flush. We may see a stair step down. They've exhausted $4.7 billion of their share authorization program. They have 27 left. 4.7 was what they spent on share buybacks in the quarter just reported, okay? And we already know that they're going head first into live television. They want to kind of diversify away from that, whether it's the NFL or other contracts that they've picked up. And that now accounts for 5% of their content spending. So they're still spending way more on recorded content, but that live content spend continues to increase. But it's only expected to bring in 1% of total global view hours. So spending 5% of total spend on it to increase 1%. We got to make the math work here, right? And then let's go on a little bit more. Let's talk about the record-breaking buybacks that actually hurt their free cash flow and is increasing their debt, right? So they spent $4.7 billion of that free cash flow to buy back shares because they're authorized to do that. But by virtue of the increased spending on content and the increased share buybacks, they're now in the hole $5.2 billion. That's what their current debt level is. And so we're going to have to see how they manage that in the future. And then what else is there? There's a strategic shift away from watch times. Yeah, that's all right. I guess their global view hours grew at 2% per year. I think that's one of their weakest metrics that they've reported since going public. That's quite anemic, if I'm being honest there. And last but not least, let's talk about something positive. The company's advertiser count surged 70% year over year. They have now 4,000 advertisers. That's super important because number one, it's a higher margin product. They're making 80-something% gross margins on those digital ad sales. And number two, when you bring in the ad tier, right, the more you watch, the more they get paid, right? Because more ads play. Whereas, of course, if you don't have the ad tier and you get everything ad free, they're not making more money off you other than what they're charging you for the tariff. So that's my thinking there on Netflix. But I gotta just say, I called it.
All right, yeah, I mean, I think you covered pretty much everything there, brother. Not much more I can say, really. One-night events, like, I mean, these live sports can bring in as much as some of their more popular series, like Stranger Things, right? So you have those people just subscribing for the one night just to watch the Jake Paul or the boxing events.
Good
and
point.
sure enough, that can add a little bit here to the total subscriber count. So other than that, listen, I don't know about this name. I do believe that it should be performing significantly better than what it is right now, but there's a couple of key metrics. Like, these guys are buying back shares, and I understand that they're depleting their free cash flow doing so. I just think that we're selling at somewhat of a discount, but if the street doesn't like it, then there's nothing you can really do. And I don't know if they're going to buy anybody out anytime soon, or who you want to, or what are you going to add into the app next. But to Shreve's point, the live viewership and the live aspect of Netflix is such a small part of this show, and what they have in the pipeline is what really drags this thing forward, which it hasn't been as of late.
JSPR is ripping into the dollar. JSPR going, but this is the weekly. Joseph and I were looking at this yesterday on NFLX, and I was positing to you guys that this looks like a gnarly head and shoulders pattern on the weekly. And I also submitted to you guys that $70 level is a key area of technical support. And the area that I pointed out was the area high in late 21. That is before the company lost 78% of its value from early November to middle or early June. That's where it bottomed out. It lost 78% of its freaking value, man, in 7 months. Wow. Anyway, it's obviously recovered since then, but that $70 area, it still maintains itself as a key area of former resistance, and now it is being used as support. We're at 69.38. That's the high of the day. The low is 65. So that's the thing, guys. If we start closing below the $70 area, we're already below the 200, right? And this is the 200 on the weekly, not the daily. So I think NFLX, man, unless it recovers here, I think we could see some more downside. That $70 area, a critical area in my opinion, see it.
Yeah, just keep an eye out on Meta here as well. Just a very, very tiny uptick, nothing crazy. But the U.S. judge will not be blocking Meta Platforms' layoffs in novel AI discrimination case. This is just coming in. Reports that U.S. judge will not be blocking Meta Platforms in layoffs in novel AI discrimination case. Let's take a look at our next story, which is USO. Now, Iran has claimed as of today that it had targeted U.S. military forces in Syria and Bahrain to widen its attacks in the region as the U.S. compelled its 6th consecutive night of strikes on the Islamic Republic. Now, also, U.S. Central Command has said that overnight it had completed at least its latest major wave of strikes against Iran and also hit dozens of military targets that included air defenses, logistics infrastructure, also maritime capabilities. But with that, like I said during my sector watch as well, energy was soaring today. USO is also up significantly today, with WTI trading around $81.6 per barrel and Brent at the moment climbing above the $86.5 per barrel mark.
I gotta tell you, Sia, I don't have a lot to add on this, right? I don't think there's too much that's happened in terms of developments other than them hitting each other overnight. I gotta tell you, I just don't have much to add here. Usually, sometimes I can talk about like the different paths they're taking through the strait, this, that, and the other. But I just don't have anything constructive.
I mean, listen, we've seen a gap down this morning, but it shows you that the street is just gonna. The streets just shrugged it off, right? Like you're at new highs of the day. You feel the gap on NVDA. So whatever that news was with them bombing, I think what we've seen at the beginning of this conflict is they're really getting involved and everybody kind of scared in the sense of fear mongering. Yeah, you want to ask?
You know what I read yesterday? Just jogged my memory. You know that what's that group in Yemen called? The one that always you know what I'm talking about? The Houthis.
Oh, the Houthis.
So the Houthis are boys with the Iranians, or one of their proxies.
Okay.
Right. So they told the Houthis if they hit our energy or electricity infrastructure, close Bab el-Mandab. Bab el-Mandab. Let me see if we can pull it up here, Joseph.
Yeah, what is this place?
Google Maps. I'll show you. It's on the Red Sea. It's important for Egypt too because of the the Suez Canal. So let's go over here, Mr. Options. This is Bab el-Mandab right here. This little bottleneck between the Gulf of Aden or whatever and the Red Sea, which is over here. So the Houthis, they're hanging out over here.
They're over there.
And so they can clip anybody who, you know, if they want to get clipped, they can catch hands over here. So they're saying the ships have to go through this bottleneck. The Houthis can start attacking these ships here. Now, if the Houthis do that, you better believe the Americans are going to probably respond. But that is the possible development that we could have, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I guess that's it, really. I mean, the street shrugged it off so far, and you know what? I'm not surprised that they did because when something's that in play for quite some time, you see the volatility step in. Eventually, it's just like, all right, yeah, whatever. It's an ongoing conflict, and slowly but surely, the headlines will lose their power, in my opinion.
Their power.
Well, think about it. Well, think about during COVID. Remember, every day you would get a report of like how many new COVID diagnoses there was.
Those were
great
days, weren't
they?
they?
Yeah, today. That's
fantastic. How many people tested positive?
Yeah. And then eventually it's like, okay.
Horrible time.
Eventually people just stopped caring about it, and then they're like, all right, whatever.
When, like, our numbers were like 6,000, 7,000 per day. It got wild.
It's the same thing here, man. It's just the ongoing thing. One day it's hot, one day it's not. It's just the nature of the market, really.
All right, let's send it back to Sia and talk about a name I think we've been talking about a lot lately.
We have, but it's worth mentioning too. SPCX SpaceX had lost over 5% earlier in the day, continuing to slide closer down at 3.5% at the moment. Let's take a look at what's been driving this drop. So the company had aborted a test flight for its Starship rocket at the last second. SPCX had been expected to launch its Starship mega rocket within a 90-minute window at 5:45 p.m. in Texas as of yesterday. But an engine ignition failure has forced SpaceX to scrub this launch entirely until further notice. Now, Elon Musk had said in a post on X that some of the engines didn't start, which triggered an automatic launch abort. He also continued to write after this that they're now offloading the propellant and the next launch will attempt attempt will hopefully happen in the next few days. Musk had also added in the post that 2 Raptors will be removed and replaced, and that is a launch that's planned again for early next week. So SpaceX sliding towards the downside, inching closer to that -4% mark.
Nearly 185 million shares, or about 29% of the public float, are now sold short, representing $25 billion in wagers, according. So SpaceX, apparently the percentage of the short, of the float that's short, 29%. 185 million shares, Mr. Options, are apparently short. Or no, you can't. You got to click that white thing.
You gotta do it,
yeah. And then now you can do it. Yeah, there it is, man. Nearly 185 million shares, or about 29% of the public float, underline that, are now sold short, representing $25 billion in wagers. Marks a significant increase from just 3 weeks ago when the short interest was between 5 and 7. The surge in short selling comes as stock struggles, this, that, and the other. Yeah, that is big, though. Natanz in Iran. Why, Ozan? Why is that one of the most strangest places? Explain. I'd love to hear it. And while you type that to me, let me talk to you about this. Guys, we broke down through 135. That's not news to anybody, but that is the IPO price where a lot of institutional buyers were building a position. So that 135 breach is very noteworthy. And we, right now we're 126.25, so we're bleeding our own blood. But let's talk about what happened yesterday, right? So 33 different engines, right, on Starship. Those are 33 Raptor 3 engines. 29 fired, 3 didn't. So 4 didn't. How's that possible? Exactly 29 of the 33. Oh, yeah. So 4 didn't fire. My mistake, okay? So that's kind of the whole thing there. It's apparently a specific threshold in the software that prevented uneven thrust vectoring so that, every part of the engine is producing the same level of force. But what I was talking about this morning and what I was kind of pumped about was the payload that was on Starship. We know Elon has been gung-ho, pounding the table lately, saying that he wants to put data centers into space. And that's what was on yesterday. That was the payload. So there were actually 20 Starlink version 3 satellites that were not standard internet nodes. They were actually custom configured to test SpaceX's first ever space data center architecture. So that obviously didn't happen, but hopefully we launch and we get good data there, because that's obviously one of the important points that Elon's been kind of really talking about lately. And yesterday was apparently only the second flight of the overhauled Raptor 3 engine, which had a lot of components removed for simplicity, and its weight dropped as well, making it a bit more efficient. So you know how the space game is, man. You fail consistently. That's part of the space kind of build out. Yeah, and that's why you don't put humans on the first launch, on the first, right?
Well, I mean, it's not funny, but I mean, yeah, that's exactly why you don't do those things. Like, listen, we can talk about the stock in itself. There's nothing more I'm looking forward to. Honestly, we talk about NVDA being the Super Bowl of earnings. I think we can put that to the side because over the past 3 or 4 quarters, it's literally stayed inside the expected move. All right, so like, hey man, it is, I'm calling it as I see it. Like, it stayed inside of those moves. So what are we even talking about? We know the numbers are fantastic, but the street's not reacting. What I want to see now is what's going to happen in SpaceX, because there's so many segments within the company that are going to be like, hey, what is this next driver? Because we know that we're not going to be mining asteroids anytime soon. But I will tell you one thing. There's another company called StarCloud. StarCloud actually sent up a H100, a bundle of H100s into space already. Sam Altman talking smack about putting data centers, don't forget, it's not these massive buildings. A lot of it is different components, right? So you're sending these vehicles up into space, which I don't think is obviously highly difficult, but I believe we're significantly closer than what we expect us to be. Now, are we like next year or anything along? No, until we see these things en masse. That's not necessarily the case, but the technology is growing, and you have China competing as well too. For me, it's XAI and EWS. What's going on with that? And how much money is this company bleeding right now? That's going to be a massive teller. This is going to be the first public report.
Okay.
And it's going to be massive for where the next direction of this stock is heading, in my opinion.
Respect that. Let's send it back to Sia.
Let's take a look at this story view here. So Chinese startup Moonshot AI is what we're going to discuss right now. Chinese startup Moonshot AI unveiled a new model saying that it closes the gap with leading U.S. offerings and surpasses OpenAI and Anthropic's most capable systems on a few benchmarks. Now, the company has said today that Kimi K3 still trails Anthropic Claude Fable 5 and OpenAI GPT 5.6 Sol on overall performance. Now, it has consistently outperformed these tested models, and according to Moonshot itself, the model has beat Claude Opus 4.8 and GPT 5.5, models that are just sitting behind Anthropic and OpenAI's leading-edge systems on certain benchmarks that include coding and general agents. Now, it's China's largest AI model so far, with 2.8 trillion parameters that is referring to the size of its neural network.
So what I like about this, Sia, is that it's a very, very competitive, if you believe the reports, LLM, a model that was built, one has to assume not using the cutting edge latest chips. We're talking, of course, about Blackwell and the MI series, the 400 series. So even if this was trained on American chips, one has to assume it was likely the H100 that it was trained on. We know the H200 didn't really sell all that well or quite yet there. So it's either H100s or maybe small scale Blackwell, or, and here's like the big one, is it trained on the Huawei Ascend? As we've been talking about, those Huawei Ascends individually are not nearly as good as the American chips on a chip by chip comparison, but when strung together can achieve similar results because you have to use more of them, of course, and you use more power. But the Chinese have power in huge quantity. They have no shortage of power over there. And so I don't think that becomes a problem for them. 2.8 million trillion parameters. Performance, if you believe some of the reports on the benchmarks that rival Anthropic's frontier model. And I think single-handedly, maybe why we sold off pretty aggressively on the chips today, because we keep getting Chinese ingenuity, in a sense, threatening the spend that American companies are engaging in here in AI. And it's like the DeepSeek, problem again. Remember what happened in NVIDIA when DeepSeek came out? What did we drop to, $60?
Yeah,
I think it was like
NVDA
$60,
got smoked.
something like that, right? And why? Why do we get smoked? Because people kept thinking you can do more with less. You don't need to spend this much. So every time we get these models out of China that are on that aren't on the latest and greatest chips, we kind of reignite that fear again. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I mean, there's not much more I can really say. I mean, Sharif, you brought up a fantastic point, and that's what I was going to lead into, is the fear that DeepSeek brought into this. And we talk about the consistent leapfrog within these LLMs. You now have this Moonshot AI that's supposed to be doing wonders. But what happens if the American regulators are like, all right, no, you can't use these Chinese models anymore? Then,
God, yeah, they could do that in a second.
You know what I mean? So then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, cool.
You mean like the Chinese do to the Americans?
Exactly, right? Like, oh, you're not allowed having this there and all of this. So if the United States decide to turn off that tap, then how much more efficient they are than whatever we got over here is essentially irrelevant.
And then the other thing is, these are open source.
Yeah.
Right?
So exactly.
And let's not gloss over the fact that your boy Xi is at an AI summit right now, and he's trying to get a group of 40 countries to make this pact, this AI pact, so to speak, so they can kind of organize against the West. No Western countries were there. No Western democracies are there, right? Like you do have Brazil, which is a democracy, fair, right? And then you have the likes of Russia, but China and Brazil have a close relationship at the moment.
Big time, yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. Alibaba's building data centers in Brazil.
And if you ask Assassino, the Chinese cars are proliferating.
The EVs there. So
right?
just ask the Chinese EV maker how many sales they've realized in the United States. Right, so
you know what I saw though?
What'd you see?
It was an interesting video. I think you'll like this. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
It's a Canadian couple. They're snowbirds, so they go to Mexico for like a few months, and they bought a BYD truck, and they drove it back to Canada, and it's stellar, bro. They love this thing. Yeah. But Randy brings up a good point.
How do you maintenance
service?
yeah, exactly.
Well, it's brand new.
Yeah,
so they don't need to make.
They got a couple of couple 100,000 clients.
But that's kind of what I think. We're always worried that the Chinese somehow will outmaneuver us, and that will make all the spending here look futile. And
good, it makes competition healthy, in my opinion.
See,
there's nothing. I like being. I mean, if you're on your heels all the time, then backed into a corner, then I think that's a good opportunity. But let's not beat around the bush or forget the fact that I think a whole part of this race is, compute is great. And you made a fantastic point the other day, Sharif. If it becomes more efficient, well, why wouldn't you just buy more?
Well, that's the other thing, right? And that's the other thing. Someone brought, well, it wasn't even me bringing that up. Somebody in the chat was like, Sharif, even if there is a technological advancement.
Which there will be.
Which there will be to some extent, right? People will just be like, companies will be like, I'll just buy more so I have more compute. I can do more with it for less. And so I totally see that perspective. I think we beat this story up. Let's send it back to Sia.
Take a look at Google right now. So Alphabet shares have fallen after reports that its flagship Gemini 3.5 Pro AI model had been delayed by several months as engineers are continuing to work to improve performance, particularly in AI coding. You're seeing Google's currently down 2.8% at the moment. So the delay has come as OpenAI and Meta have recently released stronger coding-focused models, increasing concerns that Google is losing momentum in one of AI's fastest-growing markets. So Google has pushed back on the report, saying that it continues shipping new models quickly while also testing Gemini 3.5 Pro with partners and government customers before a broader rollout. With that, you have Google down on the day, very close to 3%.
This is apparently, it wasn't just a missed deadline here. This was like a major setback because Google engineers were scrambling. They were trying to actually update the training data with specialized programming examples of how to kind of patch its coding weakness, because that's what they were trying to update it for so they can rival Anthropic. The results apparently were very disappointing, and that forced all the DeepMind team to kind of scrap the whole 2.5 Pro base model and then just basically start large portions of the pre-training from scratch. This is going to cost billions of dollars, okay? Obviously, Google can hang here. Google doesn't have a problem with money, although they did raise, right? But this is billions of dollars from scratch because we know, I think to train a model now, like a basic model, it's like $2 or $3 billion. So this is not a basic model either. And so that's kind of my look there. Google hasn't done a lot wrong lately, but this is I want to say, an uncommon misstep, I would say, in the last 2 years for Google. They had a lot of missteps, man.
At the beginning.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah,
we know that.
Yeah, but in all reality, it's a delay. It's not. They're not eliminating it, and that's what I'm going to be looking at it exactly as. Stock fall 5%, down another couple percentage points here today. I mean, if anybody is really benefiting from the monetization of this AI trade, it's these guys, because they're in every aspect of it. Not only are they up there leading the race within LLMs, they're going to be potentially a substantial clip rate in which Google Cloud is growing at. Right? We've been talking about double digits for the past couple of quarters now, like 35%, 40%. There's numbers in here that might surprise us. And here it is, Sharif.
Get it, Joey.
Are you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Look at this. Google stock news, analysts predict massive 70% cloud growth ahead of earnings.
What were we talking, 70?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, listen, 2026 search growth of 16. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, maintained a buy rating with 70%. So that's going to be more than double than what it grew at last year. All right, so our previous quarter, I believe that is. It's going to blow absolutely everything out of the water. Now, could this analyst be extremely bullish and maybe a bit ahead of themselves? Absolutely. But post raises cloud growth estimates to 70%.
My days.
Like, I don't even know what the analyst expectations are on cloud growth right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's close to double at this point. We've seen what the CEO said before. We would have generated more revenue if we had more compute. This can be absolutely massive for Google.
TLPYO. I have clients that want yesterday. Relax. Just a bump in the road for Google. Yeah, I don't think we're dunking on Google, brother. Dude, your boy Joey Option we like Google.
I literally started my bit with saying I think it's just a delay. That's it. Like, if there's anybody I might be the Dan Ives of Google over here.
Oh. Speaking of that guy,
And Tom Lee, what's up, man? He's got his new venture.
Ghosted me, Joey.
Did he?
Yeah, I haven't heard from him. In any event, let's send it back to see it. Talk a little Apple.
Let's talk little Apple. HSBC has upgraded Apple to buy from a hold and raised its price target to $366 from just $260, arguing the company is approaching an quote-unquote operational turning point. The firm believes that Apple is better positioned than certain other hyperscalers because it spends just 2.5% of its sales on AI CapEx while leveraging its massive install base through the revamped Apple Intelligence platform. But HSBC has also highlighted a strong multi-year hardware roadmap, including the iPhone 18 Pro lineup this fall and iPhone Air in 2027, as well as a book-style foldable device supporting a longer product upgrade cycle. Thank you, Sharif. Apple is down on the day, 0.76% to be precise.
That's my next phone, Sia. We're going to sell the 17 Pro Max. We're going to buy the Fold. So I'm pumped.
Actually?
All right. Yeah.
Pull it up, man.
Pull up. We don't even know what it looks like yet.
You had it leaked, bro.
Yeah, because they leaked the design to some of the suppliers, but we don't know exactly what it's going to look like. We're not going to know until
what's that Indian company that did the
Tata?
Yeah, Tata.
Yeah, your boys at Tata screwed up big,
Why don't you give them a ring? Maybe they'll
give your boys at Tata a ring. All right, I'm going to cover a different angle here. I'm going to cover the OpenAI Apple angle because this is another developing story. I started the show by saying Apple is going after OpenAI, and they really are. And they're going to kind of try to come at it from every angle so that there's no escape. So apparently Apple, in this new lawsuit, only named 2 specific individuals, right? However, a new article or a new story broke yesterday that they sent legal preservation letters to about 40 employees. What the hell are legal preservation letters? Once a lawsuit is filed and discovery is scheduled by the court clerk, people who have evidence, if they receive official notice from one of the parties to the action, they have the legal obligation to preserve that piece of evidence. If they don't, they could be found, I believe, in contempt of court, and they could get slapped with a little bit of jail time there, but because civil contempt can turn into criminal contempt. In any event, this represents essentially 10% of the amount of employees that Apple thinks left it to go to OpenAI. So they sent about 40 letters. There's about 400 employees that they think left. So it's a 10%, what we call a legal dragnet that they're trying to catch there. So that's the first thing. And those letters have a lot to do with the electronic footprint of a former engineer called Chang Liu. Apple alleges this Liu character exploited what they're calling an unpatched network bug to access files and leave the company and then take the files with him. In fact, he sent a former colleague a little message there, stupidly on the Apple network, says, LOL, I found I can access the network storage, so funny. And then he downloaded illegally, allegedly, unreleased hardware specifications. But there's another guy that Apple's specifically targeting, and it's their chief hardware officer for OpenAI. He's a former senior engineer at Apple. He goes by the name Tang Tan. This Tang Tan guy apparently instructed some of the Apple employees who were interviewing at OpenAI to bring stuff with him, like kindergarten, like show and tell, right? He told them bring actual parts, actual devices from the phone. He told them bring these digital phototypes as well as CAD files, obviously AutoCAD. Shout out to the engineers out there. So if true, this would show bad faith, not just, oh, we happened to come accidentally into Apple's IP, via transfer of knowledge through these employees. No, this shows actual malice, bad faith, and they're in a civil proceeding. They're going to get clipped for that. Again, everything allegedly, nothing is proven, but I think Apple is looking for blood here, bro.
Listen, man, we talked about the ever so growing rocky relationship between the two. I mean, this thing probably won't be the primary source of a small language model here on the phone, Sharif, by the end of the contract, right? Sam Altman stating that Apple didn't meet their side of the deal, right, with the amount of subscribers and everything along those lines.
Yep, they were the first to strike.
Now you have this issue going on. Sam Altman's continuing to, I don't want to say this, like dig is great, but he's not putting himself in the best position amongst all of these major corporations, all right?
You know what he wrote?
What did he say?
On X?
No, what did he say?
He openly admitted that OpenAI had a shit year.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Openly, and he's like, but the next one is going to be fantastic.
This guy was out.
It's literally word for word what he wrote.
Didn't his own board kick him off at one point?
Yeah,
remember that? 2023. This
November,
guy was like, boom, see you later. Okay, no, we're going to bring him back. No.
Let me read what he wrote. Keep going.
Yeah.
It up.
What I really want to discuss here is, listen, in regards to Apple, I don't think I'm the only individual who's like, okay, some of these hardware features, they're like, I've seen people in the chat, and what I'm getting at, they're just becoming the same with little advances and maybe a little bit of a modification here and there. It's like the sports games, right? It's essentially the same thing, but they just tweak things, and that's what I'm getting at with this hardware stuff.
Okay.
But what I do want to mention, Sharif, with the improvement in these small language models and the device, the handheld device being so important, I would listen. You ready for this? I wouldn't be surprised with the new CEO coming in that Apple does something extremely massive in regards to cloud. Like
you've been obsessed with cloud. I like it.
But we're in the time of it. We're in the time of it, right? Because think about it. Do you pay for Apple Cloud on your?
I do, but like it's nominal.
It's not the same,
$5,
right?
$10.
It's very small. But the more tools that you implement on here, it's like, hey, we can turn Apple Cloud at some point into this Neo Cloud service, where hey, you have your small language model on our.
They're doing that, bro.
Exactly.
The new Siri does go to the cloud at times.
Right. But we're gonna get much more, I believe, at the end of the day when it comes to in regards to this cloud stuff. So for me, I'm forever bullish on this name. There's just too many of the devices in the people's hands right now. So what I'm thinking,
earthquake going on right now.
So what I'm getting at here essentially is I don't even care what Dan Ives, like Elon Musk can release a phone. Johnny Ives can release whatever hardware product he wants.
His company, by the way, is named. He's not named, but his company, his former company, which was acquired by OpenAI, is named as a party to the suit. He's not personally named. But the company that he sold to OpenAI, remember, for a few billion or whatever it was?
No,
they're being named in the suit.
Yeah, I just don't think they like, hey, you might take a little market share or something along those lines, but you're going to have to come out with something groundbreaking in order to sway people from the ecosystem, and I don't see either one of these companies doing that.
Let me read this. So here, listen to what Altman wrote, okay? We did not have our best last 12 months ever, which is mostly my fault. Yeah, because you suck, bro. But we are about to have our best 12 months to date. The team is doing amazing work, and I think you'll be very happy with what they've got cooking for you because you stole it, allegedly. I'm happy about this for many reasons, but mostly because I care about our users winning. AI has to be about giving lots of people more freedom, agency, and wealth. We want to do the right thing, but we do not want to scare people into doing our thing. Okay, Sam. So, you know,
listen,
heard it from the horse's mouth.
Dude, but hey, man, I'm not, like, I think we do have to take into consideration that this guy has 1 billion monthly active users, man.
Yeah, he does, bro. I'm not.
Right,
I'm
like,
not.
and we talk about the freemium, like, I understand that, but what we were talking about yesterday, the fact that you're starting to see digital ad on there. So, I mean,
we knew it was coming, though.
We knew it was coming.
Remember
it was just a matter
took
of
a shot at them? Remember the Super Bowl ad?
Yeah.
Anthropic
when
ran that ad? What? Everything?
No, bro. Remember in the
remind me.
In the advertisement, they made them like freeze and stuff.
Oh,
like
I didn't know that. Is that what you were doing?
Yeah,
oh, bro,
man,
come on, man. You want me to remember the Super Bowl? I don't remember what I ate yesterday.
We did, yeah. All right.
I'm playing. All right. A few more minutes left. Sia, you want to smash out one more story?
Let's do it. Let's talk Meta and send it over to the big boys. Meta is reportedly hiring a senior Amazon Web Services executive to help accelerate its massive AI infrastructure Buildout, and this is underscoring CEO Mark Zuckerberg's ambition to make Meta a major computing and cloud provider. So, Dave Brown, who is nearly a 19-year AWS veteran, will be joining Meta's infrastructure leadership team and also focus on expanding the company's data center footprint as AI demand is continuing to surge. So this follows Meta's recent hiring as well, on top of the AI and infrastructure talent suggests long-term Meta compute initiative. We have Meta currently down very close to 2.5% on the day.
Yeah, this is good. AWS guy, I mean, if you're really trying to get into the cloud business as they've claimed and as Joey predicted, shout out to you again for that prediction, you need somebody big, and what bigger than AWS, right? So I do like that. Dave Brown, 19 years, as Sia mentioned, AWS veteran. He's going to join their infrastructure leadership team, expanding data center footprint as, of course, it continues to surge. There's been a hiring spree at Meta, as we know, infrastructure talent, software talent for their Meta Compute initiative. They want to build hundreds of gigawatts, of course, of AI capacity, like they've already done. So I think, when you're planning to spend $125 to $145 billion in CapEx, 99% of which is going to be on AI, you need the best talent, right? So AWS, one of the best out there, of course, with Azure and Google Cloud.
Yeah.
We have to talk about that, but and why were you laughing?
Well, Mike Peter Riders, shout out to him. He gave us a $2 super chat.
Yeah, I did. Shout out to Mike. I told him.
He's like, man, y'all need to take that smoke back up our way because people's eyes are starting to burn.
The amount of American politicians that have taken to X to dunk and crap on Canada.
Okay, so let me.
It's just like enough already.
Let me finish this point.
Already.
Let me finish this point. All right. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. But I mean, at the end of the day, you raised our gas prices, so the least we can do is send a little smoke your way.
Oh, all right, I'm staying out of that one.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think they did anything. There was one guy there.
Well, I mean, we technically didn't do anything either.
Here, Joey.
We technically didn't do anything either. So a little smoke for a couple of days is the least.
See what Neil said?
What Neil said.
Legit headache after going for my walk. Even when it gets better, the air is still crap here. It's really improved a little bit though, Neil, to be outside. It's beautiful weather outside.
Fair, man.
It's back. Take that smoke back, says Eddie. All right, man. We don't have a carbon capture device at our disposal at the moment, but
they have those.
Carbon capture? It's a big technology, Joey.
Oh, yeah?
Carbon capture.
So what are you going to do, just hover that around?
I don't know how it actually works, to be honest. I think it just sucks in air.
Maybe we get the
Canadian government. Okay, calm down there, John. Okay. Pump the brakes, John. Pump the brakes. All right, Joey, it's Friday. What do you got planned for the weekend, my guy?
Just gym, and more gym, man.
Gym, and more gym. It's going to rain in Toronto tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be an indoor day for your boy. But Sunday?
Yeah, no, this evening, let's see if we don't.
This evening should be good.
Yeah, we'll see if we get out there today.
Sunday what?
Sunday's a big day.
Why? Oh, I'm sorry, Neil. I blanked out for 1 second. 5 o'clock game tomorrow. 3 o'clock game on Sunday. We got the third place game tomorrow. Yeah, Katina,
Tomorrow's
man. It's
the
England,
place,
England versus France, brother. That's
France.
A good one, man. That's a good one, Katina, man.
And then for Sunday, you have Spain and Argentina.
Sia, predictions. Go.
Oh my God. Okay. I think 2 Spain and 3 Argentina.
Ooh.
I don't like this, but I think it could go overtime too. And it could go into penalties. And Spain could catch up.
Okay. I like that. I like that prediction.
That's what I think. 2-3.
I like that prediction. It's very
2-3.
detailed.
Yeah.
Joe, give me your predictions there.
I want Spain to win.
You want Spain to win?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe 2-1 Argentina here.
2-1 Argentina though, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say 3-1 Spain.
Whoa.
I'm gonna say 3-1 Spain. Boys, do you want to chime in with your predictions? Neil says he's so bitter.
I hope they both lose.
With the elimination of England, that he hopes they both lose. So, there is that.
Ozan wants Mexico to win.
Hate.
Eddie likes that. Yeah, because I'm vote for Spain. Katina, man, give us your pick, brother. Come on.
I hope that Messi can once again, solidify the best player in the world and grab that. He already is, but grab the next World Cup and then he can be done. So I think I'm cheering for Argentina.
Okay.
I'm going to say 2-1, and I do like what Sia is saying, possible extra time goal.
Yeah, I do like that prediction as well. Okay. I'm going to go with our Luis Barbado guy because, you know, if I ever see him, I don't want him to hold that over my head, right?
España.
So we're going to go with España, guys. All right. We'll see everybody same bat time, same bat channel on Monday. The big boys, they're already in the screen, but they're actually that way.
Yeah, we're just...
Actually, that would be a reason, because I don't...